is what he will always be.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. A message brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
People don't realize that glaucoma is one of the leading causes of blindness.
Because there are often no early symptoms, nearly half of those with glaucoma may not even know they have it until vision loss has occurred.
I was diagnosed with normal tension glaucoma in July of 2020. And what we found out at that point was I had already lost 40% of my sight. You think it only affects people that are, 75 or older, retired, grandparents, and that's not the reality of it.
I didn't think at all glaucoma was going to affect me because I didn't know of anyone that had glaucoma, no one in my family. When you have glaucoma, you can't get back that sight that you lost. And so early detection and treatment is vitally, vitally important.
Don't miss life's most beautiful moments. Schedule an eye exam today.
National Glaucoma Research, a bright, focused foundation program, offers free resources and tips for healthy vision.
Learn how to protect your sight at stopglaucoma.org.
You're listening to the new 1017 The Truth, founded in partnership with Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. 1017 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee. A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat. Historically black colleges and universities are responsible for a lot of black professionals across industries. For example, the United Negro College Fund says that HBCUs produce around 70% of all black doctors. Data like that backs up Marcus Shaw's belief that HBCUs are key to elevating young black people into high-paying jobs. His organization, Alt Finance, focuses on sending young black talent to Wall Street. One roadblock in that pathway? Shaw says it just comes down to awareness.
For many of our students, they don't have a lot of transparency or a lot of clarity around what a career in alternative investments would look like. And so creating that exposure and some of that co-education around how to manage a career, moving from banking to private equity, is something that's very new to students.
Marcus Shaw's Alt Finance is one organization looking to clear the pathway for success for young black people. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
With Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor gets to know you and your goals to build a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Backed by a team of specialists, they'll analyze all your accounts, even the ones they don't manage, to keep an eye on taxes and provide proactive portfolio insights that can help you unlock your wealth's full potential. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/Mike.
He steps to the mic with a boom, ping, ping. Wisdom sharper than a beast's fierce sting. Words like fireflies that light the night. He turns the dark into blazing bright. Boom, ping, ping, the truth takes wing. Milwaukee's voice, let the city sing. Boom, ping, ping, hear the freedom ring. Sherwin's the king, all the airwaves king. That shake the ground, unveils the truth where lies abound. Politics, justice, social streams. He molds the chaos into dreams. No silence here, just the sound of change. Boom, ping, ping, rearrange. Boom, ping, ping, the truth takes wing. Milwaukee's voice, let the city sing. Boom, ping, ping, hear the freedom ring. Sherwin's the king, all the airwaves king. Through the static, through noise. He amplifies the people's voice. Boom, ping, ping. Like a heartbeat's call, he's got the wisdom to break down walls. Yeah.
Good morning. Welcome to the program. Today is Wednesday, January 21st, 2026. Probably one of the most important life lessons that I have learned as I have reached the milestone age of a half a century is a work ethic. And it's more than just working hard. Because some people will work hard for someone else in hopes that their hard work will be recognized. I really hope you're not one of these people. I'm going to describe this kind of person. I'm just going to give you my experience with this kind of energy that people have. And if you're one of these people and it works for you, then good for you and God bless you. For me, I learned a long time ago, that's not where I want to place my effort. There are some people that work so incredibly hard. They'll come in early, they'll stay late. Every single professional task or even personal tasks that are asked of them on the job, they do, and they do it with a smile. They may be tired, they may be burned out, but their work ethic is so strong that they'll do anything that is asked of them in hopes that someone recognizes their effort and gives them more money and gives them a promotion. The real world does not operate like that. What you will find is that if you were that person on the job, and there's always a couple that do everything, even the things that are way outside of your job description, but people that work with you that are lazy, that are slackers, they want to get by doing the least, they may pile all of this extra work on you because they know that you are likely to say yes, and they are taking advantage of your work ethic. And you do it because you want to be a good employee and you want people to recognize your efforts. That is rarely the case. In fact, what will happen is your job description will expand and they will not give you any more money because they're going to say, well, you're doing all this stuff anyway and you always do it with a smile. So here, we're going to double your job description but keep your pay exactly where it's at. You will get taken advantage of if you have a work ethic, a particular kind of work ethic. You have to be scrupulous with how you execute your work. Now, for me, I'm a little different. The work itself is my reward, not the money that I may get as an output of my work. I like preparation because in preparation, you are free to try things, to experiment, and to explore. When I played football in high school, I loved practice. Now, practice was very serious, but sometimes it could be a little bit more fun, a little bit more jovial, because games are very straightforward and you've got to execute the game plan. But practice is a way in which you can experiment with new plays and new tactics and new strategies. Practice offers a kind of freedom and exploration of the hard work that you were putting in that is hopefully executed to a winning game on Friday night. I get here very early at 1017 The Truth. And one of the things that used to anger me until I just resigned to the fact that it's a part of the culture here, and the culture here is new to me. I've been here 5 years and the culture is still new because it's very different. Not good, not bad, just different. But every place I have ever worked for, every corporate entity, every government agency or executive or legislator's office has had a different kind of culture. But there's something that used to bother me. So even when we were at Radio City on East Capitol Drive, 720 East Capitol Drive is where we broadcasted from our first I don't know, 2.5 years, 2 3/4 years of 1017 The Truth going live. And I would arrive very early when we were at the other building on East Capitol. I still arrive early now. And what used to bother me is people would see me here, and they know my show starts at 9. And they'll see me here at 7:15 and 7:30 and be like, wow, Sherwin, what are you doing here? I'm like, what the hell do you think I'm doing here? I'm preparing to talk for 3 hours and have something valuable and worthwhile to say, something that is educated and something that is witty and something that is entertaining and something that people can take and better their lives. You can't do that walking in 5 minutes before your show starts or walking in while your theme music is playing. So preparation is something that it's rare that people take it very seriously. In fact, it's kind of sad. Most people don't like their jobs. They don't like the work that they do, which is awful because that's a kind of miserable thing. If you don't like the work that you do, but you need the money, you need that paycheck, there is no worse kind of slavery than to be saddled to a job that you need, you have to have, because you have to have the money, you have to have the health insurance, but you don't like the job, you don't like the employment, you don't like the employer. That is a miserable, miserable existence, and you can't leave, because if you leave, then what the hell are you going to do? I get value from my work itself. Now, hopefully, the work that I exhibit, because I love to prepare so much, because I can read all sorts of things and I can gather articles and gather information, I'm very free in the 2 hours prior to coming on air preparing my show. I can look up all sorts of stuff and I can figure out, does this make sense? Does that make sense? How do I relate this to Trump or Republicans or Democrats or voting? How do I relate it to the city of Milwaukee? It's a really liberating experience. But once I get on air, I'm a little bit more regimented because I got this damn clock I got to watch, and it's a whole bunch of other things that are going on at the same time. But the work itself, the actual labor, is my reward. And it's very nice that some of you listen to the show and you give your positive comments and some negative comments as well. But after a while, compliments and criticisms begin to feel the same, especially when you tend to be impervious to the negative things that people say, because that's one thing that social media has done. It's allowed the negative Nancys to have a real big old platform. And I don't take it personal. I just know that if you have such bad things to say about someone, your life probably sucks. So I can't get offended by you saying negative things about me, because even on your best day, I'd still rather be me. But I enjoy the actual work. And so when we tell people incessantly, I'm not sure if we know who is actually listening to talk radio, because there's something that it seems to be widely understood, and maybe the media has permeated and penetrated so many people's minds to think that black men are just all unemployed. We're just sitting around, I don't know, masturbating or doing absolutely nothing, because we're always telling black men, get into the trades. Be a carpenter and a welder and a HVAC and something in the get a hammer, get a tool belt, be a plumber. Have your butt crack hanging out. Yeah, be a plumber. Do you know the people that listen to talk radio, like 90% of the people are employed? And the people that aren't employed, whose lives do need some major improving, I promise you they are not listening to talk radio. They absolutely are not. I don't know what they're doing, but they're not listening to us. I just find it so fascinating, especially over the last, 10 years, really. We're just telling black men, who a lot of y'all think are idle, to go and get into the trades. Do you have any idea how hard that work is? We dismiss the trades like it's easy, and that's why I push back on it, because folks are telling black men. I never hear people say black women need to get involved in the trades, which is odd, because women can do anything and everything that a man can do. I hear they can do it in heels and while pregnant. But we don't tell women to go pick up a damn hammer or to go do HVAC or be a plumber with their butt crack showing. Full disclosure, I've called many plumbers over the years in which I've owned my home. I've never seen a female plumber butt crack. I probably don't want to see one, but I'm just saying, I don't know if I have ever had a woman tradesperson that I have hired for work around my house or whatever. But we seem to think that black men who are, I don't know, doctors, lawyers, accountants, business owners, elected officials, candidates for elected office, chefs, you name it, but we think that black men are just sitting around idle, so we tell them to get into the trades, and we always flash in front of them, ooh, you can make $90,000, you can make $100,000, hell, you can make $150,000, and you can make it in short order, and you can retire, depending upon how you structure your benefits, after like 20 years. That's a sweet gig. But the trades are incredibly hard. Do you know the amount of math and science you have to know to be an electrician? You go ahead and not know math. Look at these NPS test scores. You think that these kids are going to be qualified to be an electrician? If you mess up the volts and the amps, y'all remember them cartoons when someone get electrocuted and all of a sudden you can see their skeleton? That's exactly what's going to happen. So we are telling people to get that we think are unemployed, because I think we have an overall diminished opinion of black men, which I vehemently oppose. Everybody thinks that black folks are just so sad because the police is going to kill her and everybody is racist and everybody is down against black people. Black people were born, and I believe are genetically prepared for the adversity that we face in this country. It's just a part of who we are. So don't feel sorry for us. I think black folks take advantage of the fact that racism exists, and it's very profound in this country, probably now more than ever, and we use it to get attention. But the attention and the sympathy that we are striving for does not help improve our condition. It just makes people look at us like we are less than, and we gotta stop that. For times like these, black folks are more prepared than white folks will ever be. It's white folks that are astonished by what Donald Trump is doing. I've worked for men like Donald Trump. Dude ain't new to me. He's new to y'all. We keep telling black men to get involved in the trades because apparently we think that it's easy. I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to take a break. And then when I come back, I want to talk about a local woman who has an incredible work ethic. I think her name is Tiffany. I think her last name is in the article. She has an incredible work ethic as well, but I think it's misplaced. But let me give you this one example about the trades. If you're in the trades, your ass is working today. No. That construction project of building that house don't stop because it's cold out. Let me tell you something. I don't care how much you paying me. Ain't no way my butt crack is going to be out when it's 5 below with a wind chill. And then it's snowing a little bit too. Imagine being out there on a construction site, because they don't call the weather off or call the job off because the weather is inclement. You out there, hands numb, toes numb, butt crack hanging out, because I think they teach that the first couple of weeks of trade school. All right, gentlemen. All right, thank you. Welcome to trade school. Week number 1, we're going to talk about proper amounts of butt crack to display when you're bent over doing your work. Imagine a couple little snowflakes falling in that butt crack, how cold that is. Ain't no amount of money that's going to have me out there. I can't love something that much to where I'm going to be out there in the elements when it's below zero. And a lot of trade work, especially HVAC work, you're doing it out in the cold. So I just want to share with you guys the importance of work ethic, and the reward should be the work itself. The preparation that you did to output something worthy, something that you say that you created, instead of always thinking that the work is the means to an end. No, work is an end in itself. And if you're lucky, someone will pay you handsomely and you'll get all sorts of promotions, but you have to love to work. And I think in our community, that is lost. My father taught me to love to work because that is all me. That is my effort. That is my intelligence, and that is my output. And I love my work. I love to prepare for my work. It's what keeps me coming here most days. Because there's a lot of days I don't want to hear from Bob, but I still come anyway. I'm going to take a break, come back. I'm going to talk about a coffee shop that's on like 27th and Highland, which is an unusual kind of neighborhood, a near West Side neighborhood, the Concordian neighborhood, I think they call it. But this woman's coffee shop has been robbed twice. And she's going to keep on going because she has one hell of a work ethic. I think her work ethic is misplaced. We'll talk about that next. You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes exclusively on 101.7. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. On Thursday night, the Milwaukee Panthers head east to Pennsylvania to take on conference foe, the Robert Morris Colonials.
Dixon gets inside, finds the cutting Franklin, drops it off for Kone, who rises up and rocks the rim. Dixon gets inside, finds the cutting Franklin, drops it off for Kone, who rises up and rocks the rim.
Scott Warris has the coverage Thursday starting at 5:30 p.m. on 101.7 The Truth and the Milwaukee Panthers Sports Network from Learfield. Tip-off happens at 6 o'clock.
I slept in a lot of different rooms, different beds, but none of them really felt like mine. I spent 14 years in foster care, mostly in group homes. And I never had much stuff because I always had to be ready to move. Why get things if you just have to let them go?
There are more than 100,000 children in foster care waiting to be adopted. The Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption is working to help find them a forever family and a permanent home of their own.
Now I have my own room with walls that tell my story. I love hanging out in here. I play dress up with my sisters and I sing and make videos. But the best part, knowing I'll always have a place to go and a family that loves and supports me.
If you have room in your home or your heart, see how you can help at davethomasfoundation.org.
More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Our phone number is 833-212-1017. 833-212-1017. You got to have a work ethic, but you have to love the work. Far too many people want to make as much money as possible, but they don't want to actually work for it. And I get it, right? Then just go play the lottery. But I also know people that work and work hard, and their labors that they perform do not entice or excite them. If you're going to work and you're going to work hard, you have to find something that you love to do. Stop just telling people to go do stuff that pays well, because if that's the case, just sell ass. How much does ass go for nowadays? I'm not sure. Rhea, I'm not asking you that question because I would hate for you to answer it. But if we're just telling people, oh, go get into trades because you can make $150,000 a year, you got to know math, you got to know science, you got to know weights and measures and amps and voltages, and you got to know perfect measurements, because if you're a carpenter and you screw up by a quarter inch, the whole building is going to fall down. The dedication that you have to math to be involved in the trades currently right now is outpacing a large number of our students who are publicly educated in the city of Milwaukee. So even if you're telling them to go get in the trades, they won't be able to pass like these. You got to take these tests, these skills tests, so they can assess you of how much math you do or don't know. And God bless some of the trades because they will train you, but some people are untrainable. And a lot of them, so I've done this over the years. This is why I have this very complicated perspective on the work ethic. Don't worry, I'm going to get to the lady in a coffee shop in just a second. She ain't going nowhere. Obviously, she's been robbed twice, and she's determined to stay on 27th and Highland. When I was at WNOV, and so we had a lot of construction projects that were going on at one time in the city of Milwaukee. And it was good because for so many years, especially on the heels of the Great Recession, so right before Barack Obama got elected and through Barack Obama's first term, the American economy was in really bad shape. They were even given cash for clunkers back then. People had even less health insurance then than they have now. Homes were being foreclosed on. Banks were going belly up. Our auto industry was pretty much bankrupt. We were in really, really bad shape. But we had a saving grace in the city of Milwaukee, because imagine this. We had tons of construction going on downtown. I mean, tons. Everything from building apartments and condos along the river to Northwestern Mutual. You know, they spent $500 million building that tower, the brand new Northwestern Mutual tower. It looks like a damn paradise. Have you been in that building? My goodness. And they were building the new Bucks Arena, the Fiserv Forum. That used to be vacant land. That whole thing was just gravel. So all at once, we had all of these construction jobs, and they were paying handsomely. And we had a large number of people, not just black men, that were unemployed. So here's what would happen. A lot of the different construction companies and firms that had contracts to build Northwestern Mutual, construct the Bucks Arena, and build the Fiserv Forum and all of the other things, right? They said, we'll pay you. We'll train you how to do the work that we need on these different construction sites, and we'll pay you while we train you. You can come to us basically unemployed with nothing, and we will pay you to be trained, and then boom, we'll put you on the job site where you're going to have a construction job guaranteed for the next 18 months. And then when you're done on this construction job, boom, you can go over to Northwestern Mutual. And when you're done with that one, boom, you can go over to some of this condo development. So people had like a 5-year trajectory of work. And here's what a lot of these employers found, and they shared this with me because I got a lot of them on my show at WNOV because their outreach for labor was insane. They needed people to fill these construction jobs for Northwestern Mutual, for the Fiserv Forum, and the condos and the apartments getting built downtown. Here's what they found. They would pay people pretty well, $15, $20 an hour to be trained on whatever skill was needed on that particular job site. People would get their first paycheck and never come back. Or they would show up high. Or they would show up late. Be a 3 or 4 hour class. They show up for the last 30 minutes. It was embarrassing. And guess who came and filled some of those jobs? White men from Waukesha. Them white men from Waukesha. Oh, yeah, absolutely. What time you want me to be there? 7:30 a.m. I'll be there at 5:30. You're gonna pay me how much money? $20 an hour. Oh, you better believe. You betcha. White boys got their paychecks, and they was there early on that next Monday after they got paid. Too many of us got our one paycheck. We were out of there. Let's talk to someone who ain't got a paycheck in a long time. What you want, man? It's too early for you to be calling, man. What?
I know. So, but that work ethic, man. See, I'm ashamed. You made me ashamed of myself that I didn't even vote because I was working 2 and 3 jobs and I had to vote except for the black president I voted for. And I was ashamed of myself.
I'm ashamed of you too. Bob, do you remember what year you turned? Bob, stop talking for a second. Do you remember what year you turned 18? And stop laughing too. Do you remember what year you turned 18?
Oh yeah.
What year?
71. 71.
The next year was 1972. That's where Richard Nixon, who was just about as corrupt and crooked as Donald Trump, was running for re-election. And so you didn't vote for, I think that might have been Hubert Humphrey was the Democratic candidate running against Nixon in 72, I think. You didn't vote?
Yeah, and I apologize. Yeah, I apologize about that. No, I didn't notice nothing because people wasn't treating me that bad because I was just working hard. 2 and 3 jobs. I didn't know, and raising them 3 kids. I didn't even think about because Democrats and Republican presidents weren't that bad back then. This man is ridiculous. Except for Wallace. He tried to run, but he got shot, Yeah,
he was on the ballot in 1972 as well. You had an active racist segregationist running for president in 1972, and you didn't even vote against him. That's sad. And black folks had just recently gotten the right to vote. Voting Rights Act was 1965. And you still didn't use that right. Don't apologize to me. It's your life, man.
You were the one that made me vote. I did vote for Barack Obama, so I heard you. And that's the first time I voted, but then I didn't vote anymore until you tore my butt up on the air. I said,
wait, hold on, Bob. Damn. Wait, stop. The first time you cast a vote, a ballot ever, was in 2008? No.
Barack Obama. And I know, I'm sorry. It's a shame.
So what were you doing in the 80s and the 90s? Like, what were you doing when an election came? He was like, screw that. I'm not voting, or you just didn't pay attention at all? I don't get it.
Sure. I told you what I was doing. Working 2 and 3 jobs and raising 3 kids by myself.
Bob, it take 3 minutes to vote, man. I don't care how many jobs you got. You get a lunch break, don't you? If you get a lunch break, you can go vote. You go vote after work now.
I come home and then I want to eat and go to sleep or watch a good cowboy picture, Bonanza, Big Valley on TV, and let it be that. Now, who was that woman yesterday that talked about black men voting for Trump? Man, I got something. Her name began with an M. Do you know Vance?
What black woman? Where did you hear her? Not on my show.
Yes, I did. She talked about black men voting for Trump very badly, and I know it's a few of us. I mean, not a few of us, a few of them. But I know this black woman that's married to a racist man named Vance, and I don't care if she's an immigrant or she's a black woman.
She's not black.
She is black.
Hold on, dog. Hold on, Playboy. Good God. So you think that because someone is not white, they're automatically black? I think that J.D. Vance's wife would take great offense to that.
She's married to a racist, and she's not white. She is a black woman. I don't care what. She ought to be ashamed of herself. Just like these black men that voted for Trump ought to be ashamed of themselves.
Usha Vance is East Indian, and I don't think you know much about them. They are sometimes more racist against black people than white people are. Some of those Indians hate our guts, and so for you to call her black is embarrassing to me as a black person, because don't just include everybody and our coveted beauty as black people descended from Africa. She ain't one of us. Man, you know what, Bob? Let me tell you what. Don't vote ever again, because I feel like you would just make a bunch of mistakes. So the next election, tell you what, Bob, for you, listen to me. I had enough of this. You listen to me. Now you listen good. For you, Bob, your election days are on Wednesday. Now, don't be listening to all this stuff people talking about, Tuesday's the election. And whenever you hear somebody say there's an election on Tuesday, I want you to think, oh, no, that's not my election day. My election day on Wednesday, because Sherwin told me so. You vote on Wednesdays, okay? Now, I got to go because I got to take a commercial break.
I vote. Okay. On this note, I vote for people that you suggest, man. I ain't got time not to vote. No,
don't go. Please don't. You're done voting. You voted for Barack Obama. Thank you for your service. Don't do it again. I'd rather you not vote. And I'll just have Rhea vote on your behalf. Thank you, Bob. It's too early for him. I'm usually ready for Bob at about 11. Because, my show, it's like an airplane. Because you hear me tell people to land the plane. Well, the show is like a flight. First part of the show, I'm rising to cruising altitude. And then we reach cruising altitude. And then as we approach our destination, which is hour 3, we begin our slow descent. You know that slow descent when you're on a plane because your ears start popping? Because you going down. I like that. I like going down in an airplane. I wasn't ready. Bob called in while I'm still climbing. Take a break, come back. We're going to talk about Fruition MKE Coffee Shop is now going to go cashless after their second burglary in 6 months. Man, oh man, do I admire Tiffany Miller's work ethic. But Tiffany, baby, they robbed you twice in 6 months. Maybe the people don't deserve your coffee shop in that neighborhood. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Since 1976, Community Advocates has helped Milwaukee residents meet their basic needs, enabling them to live with dignity and hope. Today, Community Advocates offer 40 specialized programs that addresses rental housing challenges, energy assistance, domestic violence, substance misuse, and more. Their commitment is to ensure individuals and families have access to essential resources and opportunities for a better quality of life. If you need help, go to communityadvocates.net. That's communityadvocates.net.
It starts with a spark. At Milwaukee College Prep, they nurture that spark from age 3 through 8th grade, building scholars with knowledge, character, and confidence. 88% of their students face economic hardship, but that does not define them. At MCP, they see students' potential, and they help them live up to that potential. 4 campuses, 1 mission. College and beyond, MCP is free, high-performing, and open to all Milwaukee families. Visit MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com to enroll or get involved. That's MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com.
I'm Angela Bassett. As a first responder on screen, I know what it means to act fast in an emergency. In real life, the same urgency can save lives, especially when it comes to a food allergy. For 33 million Americans, one bite can turn an ordinary meal into a life-threatening reaction. And too often, they don't have the one thing that could save them: epinephrine. But emergencies don't wait. And when a severe reaction happens, being prepared makes all the difference. Now, there's a needle-free option, a new way to carry epinephrine that makes it easier than ever to be ready. No needles, no hesitation, because when the unexpected happens, the best thing you can do is be ready. Know the risk, know the options. Be ready to act. Learn more at foodallergy.org/ready-to-act.
Metastatic breast cancer, or stage 4 breast cancer, happens when cancer spreads beyond the breast to other parts of the body. About 168,000 women are living with it today, with Black women at a higher risk due to various factors. Research has led to treatments that help manage the disease and improve quality of life. The Everyday Counts study explores how nutrition and exercise coaching can support women with metastatic breast cancer. To learn more about the Everyday Counts study in Milwaukee, call 414-955-8819 or email edc@mcw.edu. If you or someone you know has stage 4 breast cancer, please encourage them to call and enroll in this valuable study. Again, call 414-955-8819 or email edc@mcw.edu.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Heated rivalry, huh? It's about 2 gay men. I never heard of. I guess there's some show that liberal women enjoy watching. Is it like a Netflix? Is it a series? I don't know what that show is. All right, this song is by Clarissa. It's called Freaky Night. K-N-I-G-H-T. It's a good song right here. Maybe that show. What's the name of the show again, Rhea? Heated Rivalry. Okay. Maybe this song Freaky Night correlates to Heated Rivalry. Anyways. All right, check this out, guys. So tell me what you would do. This one comes from CBS 58 in Milwaukee. Tiffany Miller took over Fruition MKE Cafe in 2024, located in the near West Side neighborhood of 27th Street. Let me pause right there. Whenever there's a new Caucasian business that opens up, you guys ever notice that local news will cover a new bar, a new lounge, a new restaurant when it's owned by white people, and they'll do interviews and exposés on local news with new white businesses. And I'm really going to start to delve into this because we're going to be featuring a new segment on my show every Friday at 11 o'clock called The Milwaukee Experience, where I'm going to share with you different places and spaces and entertainment venues and restaurants and bars and places you can go to get what I believe is the most and the best out of Milwaukee. But I'm also a critical thinker. And we sometimes wonder why African-American businesses are not successful. A lot of times we have a very narrow, as entrepreneurs, we have a very narrow focus as black business owners in thinking that our first and natural customers are going to be black people. Your first and natural customers should be people that are in your niche, in your demographic, and people that have money. If I'm starting some kind of a retail outlet or outfit or a brick and mortar store, I want people with money. I'm sorry, poor people. I don't want to say poor people can't come in my store, but they might steal. What do you want me to do? I can't have theft. Just saying. But I think not all of us, but far too many of us think that, I'm a black-owned business. Let me tell everybody that I'm a black-owned business, because that's either going to get me white liberal sympathy dollars or black people saying, let me support this black business blindly because the owner of the business is black. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard my entire life. If you want my money, I don't care what I'm buying. I need value for my money, and I want the best customer service possible. The way I use my dollar, it is a war for the best customer service. When I spend my money, I want to be loved. Like, oh my God, Sherwin, welcome in. Come here, give me a hug, big fella. Hug me when I walk in your store, because I'm walking in there with a pocket full of money. Show me some good customer service. Sherwin, should I walk you to your car? In fact, because we're so grateful that you came into our store, Mr. Hughes, sir, you don't even have to walk to your car. Here, hop on my back and I'll carry you. That's right, carry me to my car. That's the kind of customer service that I want. Far too many entrepreneurs, especially black ones, and I'm not naming any names, have a low exhibition of customer service because they believe that they deserve other black people's money because they're a struggling black entrepreneur. I can assure you, you will be out of business in 6 months. I have been to black-owned businesses, just, to check it out. And it's almost like they have an arrogance that they don't want to speak to you. They don't want to say hi to you. Now, this is not all black businesses. There's some black businesses that are so happy you in there, they will piggyback you to your car so you don't have to walk. That's how much they love you. Here, you don't even have to use your legs, Mr. Hughes. Get on my back. But, ma'am, you're 72 years old and 90 pounds. I can handle it. See my big ass on a 72-year-old black woman's back. Giddy up. We live in a service economy. Means you got to provide good customer service. Be nice, be cordial, be sweet. And the other thing is, look, I know you having a bad day. Everybody has bad days. I am fortunate in that I have the kind of day job where if I'm having a bad day, I'm going to talk about it for 3 hours. Where a lot of you, if you're having a bad day, you can't bring that to work. And this also goes back to the earlier segment when I was talking about work ethic. And I'm noticing this in young people, even though I think it's shared amongst different age demographics. Nobody cares. I want to reiterate this. And I know that you think that your coworkers love you and they care for you. You think so? Let your ass get fired and see how many of them send you a Christmas card. When you're having a bad day, because everybody might be having a bad day. The kids is acting up. Somebody lost their wallet, couldn't find their keys. They woke up late. You name it. They spilled coffee on their favorite pants. Now they got to change their pants. Everybody's having a bad day. You can't bring that to work. No one cares what happened to you because something probably happened to somebody else as well. Your bad day is not an excuse for performing poorly at work. And I have said this to many a coworker over my entire life. If you're not in the mood or if you can't do the job, stay home from work. Don't be half-assing around me because I might have had a bad day as well. But I'm still going to put forth the best work ethic I possibly can because some people are so damn emotional. Like, you got to separate. your personal life from your professional life, because when you go to work, that is what you were there to do. You're not there to be moody. Maybe you got into it with your girlfriend or your boyfriend. Some of y'all have both. Some of you are both. Don't nobody care at work. But you got into it with your boyfriend and your girlfriend, and maybe you're dating a they, them. I don't want to get in trouble. I also think the cancel culture is over, so I'm not really worried about it. Let me tell you why I think that. Yeah, I'm going to get back to Tiffany Miller, who opened a coffee shop on 27th and Highland, who'd been robbed twice, and now she's still going to stay open, which I think is a very bad idea. If Donald Trump can be so closely connected to a pedophile, and dude is talking about taking over other countries and stealing the president of Venezuela and his wife and using force to go after welfare fraud in Minnesota, then cancel culture is over. Tiffany Miller took over Fruition MKE Cafe in 2024, located in the near West Side neighborhood of 27th Street. The cafe combines a coffee shop with community workspaces and is part of a push to revitalize the neighborhood. And for that, Tiffany Miller, I applaud you. She should be up for a Truth Community Award. Offering community resources and employment opportunities all under one roof. Quote, a lot of people have stereotypes about 27th Street, as they should. The only way that things are going to change is if you plant. You gotta plant seeds. You gotta plant joy, Miller said. On Monday morning, the cafe was broken into and several $100s was stolen, and it wasn't the first time. Quote, I had a break-in in July, and today I had a break-in, this is on Monday, and it was just a cash grab and go, Miller said. The front door of the cafe was shattered and will have to be replaced, costing Miller hundreds of dollars. She says, I got to replace the door, but people have been really generous with donating to help me replace that with more expensive acrylic that will make it really, really hard for people to come in and to try to come in, Miller said. After 2 break-ins, Miller is switching to cashless systems to avoid the chance of a third break-in. I'm going to continue the story, and I'm going to give you my opinions on this story, because I got some strong opinions on this. Quote, I have to, which is unfortunate, Miller said. There are many people in my neighborhood who are solely cash, but for the safety of my staff, my team, and to reduce or eliminate additional break-ins, I have to go cashless right now. The cafe is designed to bring people from diverse backgrounds together and eliminate stereotypes tied to the near West Side neighborhood. I didn't cry this time, she said. I cried last time, but I'm still grateful that the community sees the value in this space and in the building and is still willing to support, Miller said. So I'm going to take a break, come back, and talk about why I think it's a really bad idea for her to remain in business in that place that's been robbed twice, but I'm going to clarify on the other side. You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
Join me every Friday at 11 a.m. for the Milwaukee Experience with Sherwin Hughes, presented by Visit Milwaukee. We're a city that knows how to celebrate, where the calendar is packed with festivals, the plates are piled high with flavor, and a lakefront sunrise sets the stage. Here in Milwaukee, every street leads to something worth savoring, a place that welcomes you with open arms and where joy is shared in bites, beats, and cheers. The Milwaukee Experience every Friday at 11 a.m. exclusively on The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, presented by Visit Milwaukee.
The MPS City Conference basketball season is starting to heat up, and we are bringing you all the live hoops action right here on 101.7 The Truth. This Wednesday night, the spotlight is on the City Conference as the Rufus King Generals welcome the Milwaukee Juneau Pioneers. Tip-off is set for 7 p.m. on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com. City Conference basketball is sponsored by Milwaukee Public Schools, MPS Proud, and presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Gruber Law Offices. One call,
That's all.
They treated me like family.
They're actually people that you can depend on.
They made me feel seen. They really treated me like I was a part of their family, a part of their team.
They ask how you're doing, how you're feeling.
They're just so welcoming and so sweet and kind.
It's like family, caring about another member of the family.
If you've been injured, it costs you nothing to see if Gruber Law Offices can help.
Hi, I'm Brittany Miller from Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more. Custom T-shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, hats, you name it, we can do it. Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more is family owned and all about celebrating life's big moments. Maybe it's a milestone birthday, a celebration for your child's first goal, or that work fundraising event. We are everyone's printer. No minimum orders, affordable designs, and help straight from me and our team. We're the one-stop shop for all your custom needs. Start your project today at bigfrog.com/Mequon.
Real talent is defined by what people can do, not where they learn to do it. So by stopping at the education section of a resume, you might throw away the perfect hire. You might miss someone who has valuable skills to offer to help your business thrive right now and in the future. Because the truth is this: Skills First Hiring helps you see talent others miss, like more than 70 million stars, skilled through alternative routes. When you let their story unfold, you gain a competitive advantage, because hiring managers who start with skills are 60% more likely to find a successful hire. See the real person, complete. See what others miss. Hire skills first. Learn why it's a competitive advantage at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
It's The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I understand someone who has like a lot of gumption and they're stubborn sometimes, and if their establishment was burglarized once and they don't care, and they're going to be committed to the neighborhood because they want to turn the neighborhood around and they want to show that they are not going anywhere. Now, I can only speak for myself, and Tiffany Miller, who must be one hell of an incredible soul but also stubborn, should maybe take heed, because if your establishment was broken into twice, I don't trust certain aspects of this city, because if your establishment appears to be a reasonably easy target, which you would think it is if it's been broken into twice in the last 6 months, they may come back a third time and kill somebody. And for me, Sherwin Hughes, if I had employees at a brick and mortar building that had been broken into twice, I would not stay in business or want to be around, or at least in that neighborhood, for it to happen the third time. Because what do they say? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times, I might get shot. As much as I hate to say it, and the people in the neighborhood sometimes are good people. They are. But not everybody is good, and not everyone deserves certain types of establishments in their neighborhood, because I have to be worried about public safety, because we discuss it so much on this program, and we talk about how big the budgets are for public safety. Also, at some point during the program, I'm going to talk about the effectiveness of having actual police officers in schools. So if you go to YouTube.com, or open up your YouTube app from your smartphone or other mobile device, search 1017 The Truth and hit subscribe. You will see a YouTube poll, and I'm going to get to the story later, but we always put the polls up well ahead of the story or the segment, because I want a lot of people to vote in the poll. It's, do you think, where did I lose the poll? Is the poll still up, Rhea? Where the poll is? Okay, hold on, let me hit a refresh. I asked you if we should have cops in schools. I can't see because it says get your tickets for the Truth Community Awards. come I can't see it? Did I close this joker? Hang on a second. No, I can't see it. But what's the percentages, Rhea? Say it on air because it's not open.
We got 56% for yes and then 44% for no.
And the question was, should we have police in schools?
Correct.
Okay, how many people have voted so far?
55.
Okay. So y'all think that we should have cops in schools? Well, I have some details on what police actually do and what they have been doing since they have been in the schools. So I do want to get to that. But it seems that you all think that police should be in the schools. If this coffee shop... First of all, you know what? Black people don't drink a lot of coffee. I was curious, because I'm a curious person. I have what you call an inquisitive temperament. So I did a little bit of research, because clearly I have time on my hands in the morning, on the demographics that drink coffee. Black people are at the lowest rung as far as daily coffee drinkers. We're less than 40%, like 39%, but one study says 46% of us drink coffee. So side note on that, how do y'all function, blacks? Dear uncaffeinated, but where my coffee at? Hold on a second. Hold on. Right here. See this? If you're watching on YouTube, this is my coffee mug. See this here? This is only a 12-ounce coffee mug. And I'm not one of those freaks that drink, I drink 13, 15, 7, 8, 9 cups of coffee a day. You got a problem. If you make your coffee right, this is all you need. And I don't even fill this joker halfway up. And even when I'm done drinking coffee for the day, I won't even drink all of this. If you make your coffee right. Your coffee should be liquid cocaine. You know what I mean? You got to make it right. Don't make no weak coffee. I can't stand weak coffee. We have coffee machines here at Good Karma Branch. Don't tell nobody, but it tastes like sauteed mud. We have the worst coffee here I've ever had. The real coffee drinkers don't know that the machines that we have here are awful. But for the majority of black people don't drink coffee daily. And then there's another little part of this article that I have. Only like 11% of baristas are black. And now, I've never seen a black barista.
I have.
But you probably go to coffee shops more often than me. I make my coffee at home. I don't like going to coffee shops.
What's in your coffee? What do you do?
So first of all, you have to buy, coffee is one of those things, the more expensive it is, the higher the quality. And I always get a medium roast. I don't like light roasted coffee, and I don't like dark roasted coffee tastes burnt. And medium roasted coffee has the maximum amount of caffeine. So dark roasted coffee, which has a much more robust flavor, but they burn the caffeine out of it. That's why I drink it. I don't drink coffee. Oh, I love the taste. Not really. It's too acidic, and sometimes it makes my stomach hurt, but I got to have it. It's like somebody that drinks non-alcoholic beer. What do you do? Drink a Sprite. A non-alcoholic beer. Beer doesn't taste good enough to drink it for the taste. But I have it took me 20 years to find the perfect ratio of water to actual coffee grounds. And because I put so much coffee grounds to water in my coffee, if you sprinkle a little ground cinnamon on top, it takes some of the acidity and some of the edge off of the coffee. But I'm going to take a break, come back. I'm going to talk to that one guy. He's on line one, so we'll talk to him at the top of hour 2. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be back for hour 2.
He's the voice for the people and the community's connection to change.
Regroup, rethink, and reshape, and get on the front lines. It's only to your benefit. I always tell people, you helping the overall ideal of a better community, it actually helps you out. It helps you out. It helps your family out. It's time. Do not bring that reactionary attitude into the new year. This is the best time to start fresh. This is the plot. They plot this out, and it's been going on for years. This is normal. This is the way it is. This is where we are right now. It's all buddy-buddy. And if you're not a part of the friend situation, you're not getting in. They don't want nobody getting in and seeing where the messy. That's why I'll never get in. Because they know I'm not going to play around about my community. They know I'm not going to sit in no meetings and see y'all shucking and jiving and sniggling and giggling and not say nothing about it. I'm going to tell you to shut up.
The Tory Lowe Show, weekdays from 1 to 4 p.m. Live on YouTube and right here on 101.7 The Truth.
Many of our most important memories are made at school. But for children like Victoria, the classroom can be a place of fear and isolation. She wore a bandage over her cleft every day, too shy to speak, too afraid to smile. Everything changed after one life-transforming surgery made possible by Smile Train. Today, Victoria's smile lights up her classroom, a symbol of confidence, connection, and new beginnings. Due to stigma, children with untreated clefts often miss out on school entirely. But thanks to Smile Train, students like Victoria are stepping into the classroom, raising their hands, and finding their voice. Smile Train partners with local experts to support with free cleft surgeries and other comprehensive care, empowering children to thrive in school and in life. Let's help every child walk into the classroom with confidence. Visit smiletrain.org/learn.
People don't realize that glaucoma is one of the leading causes of blindness.
Because there are often no early symptoms, nearly half of those with glaucoma may not even know they have it until vision loss has occurred.
I was diagnosed with normal tension glaucoma in July of 2020. And what we found out at that point was I had already lost 40% of my sight. You think it only affects people that are, 75 or older, retired, grandparents. Schedule an eye exam today.
National Glaucoma Research, a bright, focused foundation program, offers free resources and tips for healthy vision.
Learn how to protect your sight at stopglaucoma.org.
You're listening to the new 1017 The Truth, founded in partnership with American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. 1017 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Welcome to Hour 2 of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. Starting on Fridays, every Friday at 11 o'clock, we're going to be doing something very unique and very special. Talking about all of the different entertainment venues and opportunities to entertain yourself a variety of different ways in the city of Milwaukee. So I'm looking forward to those segments that are going to start on Friday. It's going to be a hoot. Also want to hear from you as well on some of those, some of the different venues that we have in the city of Milwaukee. It's called the Milwaukee Experience, and it's going to be every Friday at 11 a.m. here on 1017 The Truth. Let's talk to that one guy. You're on 1017 The Truth. How are you?
Hey, Sherwin. Well, here we are again. Me and you, my friend Blue. So, this is what I want to talk about. So I've been plowing since 4 a.m. today, and I was listening to NPR, and they played Trump's speech. I don't know if you listened to it.
No.
But he said something. He said something that made me raise an eyebrow. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I want to ask you for your opinion. But I kind of think it's kind of a good thing. But he mentioned the housing market, and he's gonna he said he's gonna make it so large corporations or big companies can't buy single family houses to give average Americans a chance. What do you think about that?
I think Donald Trump is a bastard and a liar. Why would you believe anything? He has no power. He is so under the thumb of big money and big corporate interests, he will never tell them what they cannot do. And even if he puts that proposal out there, you know what he's trying to do? He's trying to goad them into giving him money, and then he'll reverse his position. The housing market is in bad shape, and let me tell you why. Because during the pandemic, interest rates were so low, and Joe Biden needs to get more credit for this. Interest rates on a 30-year fixed were like 2%. Now they're damn near 7%. So people that refinance their homes with a 2% mortgage are not selling their houses to buy another house and pay 6 or 7% on a 30-year fixed. So we do have a shortage of inventory, which is making housing prices go up. And we're not building enough new housing, because if we do build more housing, it probably would be low income. But to think that Donald Trump is going to stop corporate entities from purchasing single-family homes is an absolute lie.
Well said.
And he is a bastard.
Also, I guess he is. Well, also, that coffee shop you mentioned, that's sad to hear that. I actually been there quite a few times with my wife, and she loves it. I love it. They have, if you've ever been there, if you ever go there, try their coffee float. Really good.
No, I'm not. I don't want to go.
Yeah, it's a shame.
I don't want to go.
It's a shame. Also, before I leave, on your own time, I want to recommend you a song. It's called Last Summer Whisper by Andre.
Huh?
It's a good song.
What kind of?
Last Summer Whisper. It's a good song. It's like, I believe it's like a 76, 78. And it's
what kind of music is it?
Good 80s music. It's something you would like, considering that you like.
I've heard this before.
Men I Trust, which is a good thing.
Is this it?
Good song. Yeah.
Oh, I've heard this before.
It's a good song. Also, Junior Kimbrough, I love you, baby. He's another one I love.
First of all, thank you for your music request, but this ain't no music show. No, don't you need to get back to plowing?
Well, on your own time, I said. Well, I'm plowing right now. It's a lie. It's easy to plow.
Go plow.
All right. Thank you for taking my call.
All right, then. All right. And he called last week and gave me some smoke, so I'm a little leery on him. I don't know. He said something last week. He had a little bit of an attitude with me. Like, Sherwin, I don't like you, or whatever the hell he said. Anyways. If an establishment has been broken into 2 times in 6 months, then apparently the target is soft. And what I would worry about, now this is me, not Tiffany Miller, who is the proprietor of Fruition Milwaukee, which is one of those co-networking spaces. Hey, how many co-networking spaces do you need in a city? During the pandemic, when everybody was working from home, then it made sense. You had Sherman Phoenix, and you had the one downtown, and you had spaces, and you had all these different, it's like a co-networking space. And then you got the one in the 3rd Ward. I don't remember what it's called. It's all in Plankington, the one down there. There's a whole bunch of these, like a co-networking space. And you can, like, pay $50 a month, and you can, like, come in instead of working from home. You can get your, like, a little desk and a little cubicle. Everybody is back at work now. So what we did is we typically do in the city of Milwaukee, there's, like, a trend going on at the moment, and we build and we build and we construct. And then when the trend is over, we are left with useless spaces that we built out. We don't need more co-networking spaces. In fact, Sherman Phoenix was supposed to be a co-networking space. I'm not going to lie to you. I ain't been to Sherman Phoenix in like 4 years. But if your establishment has been broken into twice, at what point do you fear for your life and for your employees' lives? And it's very nice that CBS 58 and I think another local Milwaukee news media outlet did a story on this place, but in both of the articles where they talk about how wonderful Tiffany Miller is, who is the proprietor of Fruition MKE, and some of you are listening right now and you're probably going to go there, well, then you should go and support her. But if I'm a business owner and if I've been robbed twice, I would think to myself, this neighborhood does not deserve what I'm doing and it's not worth risking my life. We can't wish away some of the bad that exists in some neighborhoods. It's like the person who, let's say I wanted to open up a bar and grill in New Berlin or in Elm Grove or a place where Trump got 92.5% of the vote. And the place might be known for having really harsh racial attitudes. And I want to change white people's minds. And I want to open my bar and grill in this suburban enclave, likely in Waukesha County, where 98.6253% of the people voted for Trump. But because I believe that all people are good, and if they see a black business owner, they're going to love me and they're going to respect me and they're going to forget the fact that I'm black, right? And I have this attitude, and I'm not doing a direct correlation between Tiffany Miller's attitude and wanting to revitalize the near west side of the city of Milwaukee. But there might be some similarities or some overlap. So let's say I go to a place where they made news and headlines because maybe racial slurs were thrown at black children that go to a school in that community. And there have been other issues. There's a lot of racial profiling. And let's say it's a place that Donald Trump won, and it's a neighborhood or a community somewhere in Waukesha County where they have all very conservative elected representatives. And I start a business out there. First of all, I probably wouldn't even be able to get a license out there, but let's say that I did. I operated with someone else as a business partner, and I opened up a bar and grill in a place that is very conservative and has had racial tensions in the past. But I am so determined to change these people's minds, because if they see me and they interact with me and they see that I'm a nice black, then maybe they'll change their mind. And I will be very dedicated to opening up my black-owned bar and grill in this very white, very conservative suburban enclave where there are no other black businesses, okay? And then week number 1, they throw a brick through my window with the word nigger on it. And I say, that's okay, because I'm determined to stay here, because I'm going to change people's minds about black people, and I'm going to fix the window, and I'm going to shed a tear because they threw a nigger brick through the window and they broke my window, and I have to get it replaced, but I'm not going to be turned around. And then a month later, they burn a cross in front of my black-owned bar and grill in this very suburban enclave somewhere in Waukesha County, where everybody out there voted for Trump and they have nothing but Republican representatives. And then week number 7, I find a noose hanging on my mailbox. At some point, I'm going to leave, because those people don't deserve to have me and my black-owned bar and grill in their neighborhood. And I'm not going to change anybody's minds just by existing and by showing up. And I just want people to be honest with themselves, clear-eyed, and level-headed. You may have the desire, maybe you see the potential in a neighborhood, but you shouldn't have to put yourself nor your employees and your customers in harm's way if your establishment has been broken into more than one time, because the third time they might come when you're open and come with guns. You may see the potential of the west side of the city of Milwaukee, and please, by no means, don't take this as me being negative on the west side of the city of Milwaukee. Take this as me thinking Bob Bauman is a horrible alderman, because he has let that district get dilapidated in the 22 years his ass been in office. Yeah, I said it. Sometimes you can see the potential, but you may be the only one that sees it. You may see the potential in that man you met, ladies. He's so smart and he's so handsome, and if he just got his stuff together, he would be a great man and a good protector and a good provider. You may see his potential, but if he doesn't see it, or if a neighborhood doesn't see their own potential, sometimes you got to stop investing and wasting your time, because you are going to be the one heartbroken. I like to see all parts of the city of Milwaukee flourish. Some are doing better than others, but what I don't want is for good people to invest their hard-earned money and their time and their labor, and they may have wonderful staff. You're putting some people in harm's way by having an establishment that has been broken into twice in 6 months, because I know this city all too well. The third time, they may be coming with guns. And I get it. We want to fix the city, but there's some places we ain't going to be able to fix, at least not without decades of investment. And the amount of time that it took for a neighborhood to get dilapidated, we may have to invest that amount of time and then some to get it back on an even keel once again. I just want people to be smart with their investments. Don't go into things with this Pollyanna-ish attitude like, oh, if I build here, they will come. Just like the example that I gave, I could go to the most racist part of Wisconsin, open up a black-owned business, and think in my head, in my dreamland Pisces mind, because you know us Pisces is dreamers. We sometimes don't even know what reality is because we live in the damn clouds. I could say, I want to change the attitude of Republicans and racists single-handedly, so I'm going to open up a business in a very racist, it's going to be proven racist. Like, they've had racial incidents in the past. They're known for racial profiling. There's been racial slurs hurled at children of color that may attend that particular school. And I can say to myself, I'm going to open up a business there, because when people see me and they interact with me as a very nice black person, they're not going to be racist anymore. That's stupid. They're more likely to kill me than they are to change their attitude about me. Now, will I change a couple of people's minds? Maybe. Would I also be incredibly fetishized as a black man in this majority white racist enclave? I need to do a side note on that. Andrew, do not clip this next part. Some of the most prejudicial, racist people of any race, okay? Any race, love sexual interaction with the group that they're the most prejudicial against. Do you guys have any idea how many Black Panthers have sex with white women? A lot. Like a ton. Not all of them. I said don't clip this, Andrew, because this will get me in trouble on Instagram. Some of the most... I don't want to say this next part. Some of the most racist white men, they hate black men. They hate to see us coming and going. They hate our very heartbeats. They hate everything we stand for because I think we represent something that they can't be and something that their entire culture and all of the weight of their culture has been used to admonish us, and they still see us rising and being successful. So like a deep-seated hate. But like they'll hate, and Al has brought this up before. But they will pay to see that same black man that they hate nail their wife. It's the wildest thing ever, right? But then if they see a black man on the street asking for help, they would kick them. But they also fetishize us, and I know this, like, as a black man, like, come on. I got invited to a swingers party. Well, oh, my God, it's whoa. I know that it's not for me, but to see it in action, it's gross. It's worse than you think. And some of you, and I don't want to offend anybody who's in the lifestyle, but I'm also a person that kink shames because some of you are gross. You're gross. I think that men that have foot fetishes, like, not if a woman has cute feet, yay, that's like having a cute smile. But men like, oh God, oh, I love feet. Oh, I want feet. Dave Chappelle has got a foot fetish. I don't like that, Dave. And I met Dave before. Got to hang out with him for a little bit. We didn't talk about his fetish for feet, but I made sure my feet were real nice and covered up. I'm going to take a break right now. We're going to come back and we're going to talk to Millicent. I think Millicent needs her own segment. We'll call it the Millicent Word of the Day because she is a black African-American lady. She's very intelligent, very smart lady. So if you want to hear a very intelligent, smart African-American black lady, like a lot of the people that call my show are very smart, intelligent African-American and white and Mexican. That one guy who just called a little while ago, he's a Mexican. Well, Bob is not. Bob says things that only make sense to him. And Bob believes that if he shares the things that only make sense to him, if he shares them with you, that those things will also make sense to you as well, but that's never the case. But we'll talk to Millicent on the other side. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, exclusively. That means I don't appear anywhere else. On 101.7 The Truth, don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Need a way to hype up your day?
This is Lorenzo.
Lorenzo, you just won $5,000!
What would you do with $5,000?
That's sweet for a couple months.
Yes!
There you go.
Yes.
That just made me happy.
Stay tuned into 101.7 The Truth for your chance to be entered into the Gruber Law Office's 5K giveaway. For contest rules, visit 1017thetruth.com.
Can we hold something?
I'll holler back at y'all.
I got money now. The MPS City Conference basketball season is starting to heat up, and we are bringing you all the live hoops action right here on 101.7 The Truth. This Wednesday night, the spotlight is on the City Conference as the Rufus King Generals welcome the Milwaukee Juneau Pioneers. Tip-off is set for 7 p.m. on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. City Conference basketball is sponsored by Milwaukee Public Schools, MPS Proud, and presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Hi, I'm Priscilla Presley. My love for animals began when I was 5 years old. That sparked a lifelong commitment to speak up for animals who can't speak for themselves. Elvis and I supported American Humane Society because your compassion can change a life. American Humane Society strengthens the bond between humans and animals. Please visit AmericanHumane.org to learn more. Thank you.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
Nathan has taught me to embrace the moment. Age-wise, I'm in my late 60s. I'm old enough to be his grandfather. Will he be embarrassed to acknowledge me as his dad? I think the most important thing we can do is let them know that they're safe, that they're valued and cared for and loved, and that they're important.
I knew I wanted to be adopted by him because of how he taught me to be the person who I am today. And it's coming from a dad that didn't expect to become a dad. And I feel very proud to be his son.
That was what he needed, and he was what I needed. Every day is full of new opportunities. That's what it's been about, realizing the simple things that it takes to make such a huge difference in these kids' lives.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care at adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
To the fella that just called in, I so wish that he would call back. Apparently he took offense with this scenario that I gave, and I'm glad he took offense to it because it gives me another opportunity to talk about him. So he said that it was offensive that I'm making this blanket statement, and I used Elm Grove just as a familiar example. I'm not saying anything about the people in Elm Grove. In fact, I've never had a bad interaction with people who live in Elm Grove. But I know that there are places in a state like Wisconsin, a state that has 80+% Caucasian, where black people are not liked, not loved, and not welcome because people believe the stereotypes about us, or they believe that if we move into their neighborhood, we'll reduce their property values, or our urban influence will do something negative to their community and to their culture. Gentleman who called just a while ago who didn't want to be on air, I'm not saying you are one of those people, but if you're not, somebody in your family is, and your neighbors probably are. The interesting thing about white people when it comes to race is they don't talk about it because they see themselves as just normal. Everything else is different. Everything else is exotic. But if you are white and you grew up in a white community, you work in a white community, you went to white schools, you go to white churches and go to white grocery stores, you don't have to be burdened with race. As a matter of fact, when you hear other people talking about it, you just roll your eyes. Oh, why can't they just get over that whole slavery thing? My goodness, I got black friends, and black people have all the rights that I have. And in some cases, black people have more opportunity than white people. But for the most part, in genteel white society, talking about race it's either rude or it's offensive. It's not really socially acceptable. But as black people, we have no choice but to talk about it because the very foundation of this nation and how it was built and how it gained its economic prowess is because we were able to marginalize people who were not white. To give the luxury to white people to never have to talk about race, because if they do talk about race, the history is ugly. That's why some years ago you had a bunch of Trumpers running for school boards in some of these small towns because they didn't even want history taught, because for some reason, teaching white children their racial namesakes' involvement in the sad atrocities committed against so many other people would make white kids feel bad. History is not supposed to make you feel bad. History is supposed to be a lesson so you don't repeat it. And what do we have right now? ICE agents going door to door and rounding people up. And I learned all about the Holocaust. And I remember being in 8th grade when we saw a movie called Escape from Sobibor. Way too young to see that movie. And Tony Evers signed mandatory Holocaust education into law. And, of course, a bunch of black people got all mad about that. What about us? What about our history? I suppose we can have that conversation. But for us to get the Holocaust education that we got and then to sit here and watch ICE agents go door to door, break down people's entryways, and snatch, in some cases, American citizens, Vietnam War veterans from their... They took this man out of his house in his underwear and some Crocs. I don't know. Y'all gonna have to shoot me. Oh, I'm so scared they're gonna come to Milwaukee. Oh, my God, because we will act a fool if they come here. I don't want them to come here because there's really nothing we can do except get shot. Because it's not like resisting a Milwaukee cop is one thing. I don't know, they're going to soften you up a little bit. They're going to beat you up a little bit. You resist an ICE officer, they're going to blow your brains out. You know, so but to watch in America people get rounded up out of their homes when we went to war with a country that was rounding people up out of their homes, and it's happening right here, it's just disturbing. I said all that to say this. So, fella who called, I really wish that you would call back because a lot of people would learn from our conversation. Because he said that he wouldn't have a problem with Sherwin Hughes as an African-American opening up a restaurant in whatever white community he lives in, and he think it would be great. That's what he thinks. A lot of his friends, family members, and neighbors and members of the council, wherever this man lives, would say, hey, did you guys hear about the nigger restaurant that opened up? We need to shut it down before more of them move out here and start opening restaurants and take restaurant business away from us. Why do you think white people move into the communities that they do? So they can control the damn economics. That's exactly why do black folks talk about, oh, we got to get our own and start our own community and have our own city so we can control the economics. I don't necessarily fault white people for wanting to get away from us. Hell, sometimes I want to get away from us, but then I realize I'm one of us, just running from myself. Let's talk to, hi, Millicent. Sorry I kept you waiting, but I needed to get those last words out.
Oh, that's okay. No problem. Listen, you hit on something that I have been saying about the lady closing her business because it's not safe. That is exactly why no businesses come to the north side, because they know it's not safe. The city is out here trying to sell businesses to come to the north side for jobs and other things. But they're not coming when they know they can be robbed, shooting. The people will be driving to work and can get shot on the expressway. That is exactly why we're in the situation we're in. That's it. And we need to understand that. A lot of the things that happen on the north side are self-induced from the people from the north side.
Give me an example. What do the north side people do, Millicent?
They run you off the road. Oh. They run red lights. Oh. Yeah, that's what they do. So you got a lady going to work. She done got a job on the north side, and then she gets hit because man just ran the red light for no reason. They run red lights in the morning at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. Where are you going that you got to run a red light?
Good point.
Just out of curiosity.
All right,
and as far as ICE coming to Milwaukee,
yes.
I want to say this. ICE in Milwaukee, they're going to be in a little trouble. Because you know how they just jump out their car and come after you?
Yes.
Man don't steal that truck while it's running. And they don't understand that green lights do not mean go. They are going to get hit a lot in Milwaukee. They're going to have a lot of vehicles showing up in Milwaukee.
All right. Thank you, Millicent.
So they can come. A lot of them are going to be walking. Bye-bye.
Okay, then. All right. So well, hello, Cole. Thank you for calling back. I did get a little snippet of the conversation you had with my producer, and I think the conversation is worth having on air because it is what I would call a teachable moment.
I think that's fair.
So where do we begin?
I guess it's kind of crazy because I voted for Trump.
How many times?
Both times he ran.
All right.
Okay.
3 times actually. But 2016, then in 2020, the rigged election.
Actually, I guess all 3 times I voted for him. That's okay.
Okay.
Again, I've been trying. I used to listen to WISN, and I get tired of them as well. So I started listening, kind of trying to get an opposite point of view. But I feel like when I'm listening to you tend to bring up, it seems like racism a lot. And I just keep going. I mean, and maybe it is. Maybe it is true. Maybe it's prevalent out there. Maybe it is.
Maybe
I just don't see it. Okay. And I don't like to believe it.
Cole, you're not. Here's the thing. Before you go on, I don't want to cut you off. You're not supposed to see it, and you're not supposed to believe it, so that when people like me have personal, anecdotal conversations, we can even give you data, fact, and statistics. You're supposed to not believe me either. That's a part of it. Make the black or the brown people that are talking about their lived experiences with racism less than credible. That is why it works so well, because folks like yourself, because I know you say the N-word, Cole. I know you got friends and family members that don't like these niggers and what these niggers do.
You know that I say the N-word?
Yeah.
How do you know? Why would you think that?
I want to hear you say it. Let me hear you say it. No, don't say it.
Nigger.
Well, there you
I just said it.
It was easy to
Okay.
So someone that doesn't say it wouldn't have said it, but I know you say it.
I guess I'll talk. If you want to say it, sure. Just like a black friend of mine might, throw a cracker, or whatever. Who cares?
Cracker's not quite the same.
And quite honestly, I don't say that word because I think that N word is very offensive. I don't think being called cracker is offensive. I don't really care, But I do think the N word, and maybe out of respect for everything that's happened. So I don't use that word. I don't. I think it's an offensive word.
So earlier I was giving an analogy of, because there are parts of Wisconsin where there might be negative stereotypes about black people, and the people in that town, wherever that town is. I just use Elm Grove just as a random example. I wasn't specifically talking about the people in Waukesha County or Elm Grove, but there are places where there are some neighbors or community members that would be upset or intimidated or fearful if an African American, let alone moved in with their family or started a business, because of the stereotypes that people may have about black people, especially if you've never interacted with African Americans. I was more referring to that. So me as a black person who might want to combat racism, I was using this hypothetical example, I may go to one of those places that is known for having racial tension and say, I'm going to start a business, I'm going to start a bar and grill in a place that is known for racial tension, because when they see me there and they see how nice I am, I'm going to change people's minds. And I was using that as an example is because it doesn't change people's minds. Just the presence of African Americans in some places is more intimidating than it is inviting. And that's just the example I was using, just like with the lady who had the coffee shop that wants to revitalize this West Side neighborhood. She's been robbed twice, and so far her presence there is not turning the community around to a better place, which is what she wants. It is just making her a victim for her wishes of wanting to turn it around.
Is she a black woman or a white woman?
She's black. She's a black lady.
And who'd she get robbed by?
Robbers.
I mean, that wasn't a racist thing. She got robbed. It had nothing to do with racism.
It has something to do with the demographics of the neighborhood, I would imagine. To be burglarized, I got to be specific, twice in 6 months is indicative of the neighborhood. But I said all that to say this. You may not have very complicated, critical thoughts on race, but I do, and people like myself do. So when you hear us talk about it, try not to get offended. Try to empathize with where we're coming from. And I do appreciate your call, Cole.
I can try. I will respect that. Appreciate it, and have a good day.
All right, you too. Did you hear how quick he said nigger? He said, I don't like that word. I said, say it. Nigger! He had a harder R than Tony the Tiger. All right, I'm going to take a break, come back, and we're going to talk to Alan on the other side. We just piling them on thick today. I feel like we got to clip that one. Let's clip it. Ooh, he said it like Tony the Tiger. It felt like when he said it, he could tell it felt good. It's like, oh, finally, permission. Like it was built up from the last time he said it, which was this morning. This nigger serving me my coffee. And boy, why are you looking at me like that? I don't like when we sit here and pretend that white folks don't call us the N-word every single day, but when they hear me say it, especially in reference to them calling us N-words every single day, now I can't say it. Y'all are going to police my body, but you are never going to police my speech. Okay? The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. He's the voice for the people and the community's connection to change.
Regroup, rethink, and reshape, and get on the front lines. It's only to your benefit. I always tell people, you helping the overall ideal of a better community, it actually helps you out. It helps you out. It helps your family out. It's time. Do not bring that reactionary attitude into the new year. This is the best time to start fresh. This is the plot. They plot this out, and it's been going on for years. This is normal. This is the way it is. This is where we are right now. It's all buddy-buddy. And if you're not a part of the friend situation, you're not getting in. They don't want nobody getting in and seeing where the messy. That's why I'll never get in. Because they know I'm not going to play around about my community. They know I'm not going to sit in no meetings and see y'all shucking and jiving and sniggling and giggling and not say nothing about it. I'm going to tell you to shut up.
The Tory Lowe Show, weekdays from 1 to 4 p.m. Live on YouTube and right here on 1017 The Truth.
When I was diagnosed with Hodgkin lymphoma, I had so many questions. I didn't even know that it was cancer. Now I do. It is cancer. Blood cancer. It's actually one of more than 100 different types, and they're all treated differently. Now, unlike some other forms of cancer, usually there's no tumor. You can't screen for it to prevent it, and the symptoms can look like other things, so it could be hard to diagnose. I had a fever for weeks. I was so tired all the time. I didn't feel like eating or doing anything else for that matter. And I know that this can feel scary. But if you know what to look out for, you'll know what to tell your doctor. And you'll feel more empowered to take the next steps. Like getting in touch with the people who know the ins and outs and can help with everything blood cancer related. Blood Cancer United. They work one-on-one with each person who reaches out to answer questions and offer resources. Blood Cancer United was there for me, and they can be there for you.
Go to bloodcancerunited.org to learn more.
Pollution from trucks is a public health crisis. Diesel-burning trucks belch dangerous levels of pollution, and communities living near ports and along freight corridors breathe especially high levels of this dirty air. But this crisis has a solution. My name is Sasan Sadat, and I work for Earth Justice. I'm working to clean up our air quality, particularly for communities that bear the burden of diesel pollution. For the sake of our lungs, our health, and our climate, the future of trucking in this country has got to be zero emissions. Until then, I will never rest.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit defending the environment and people's health. Earth Justice is fighting to save lives, protect our climate, and strengthen our economy through the shift to zero emissions. If clean air matters to you, visit us at earthjustice.org. Earth Justice, because the earth needs a good lawyer.
More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Hello, Alan. Did you hear that last call?
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. Did you hear?
I just caught the tail end. I was dealing with that stuff that happened out at that store. I was on phone with corporate about some type of stuff for a settlement. Anyway, I caught the tail end, but yeah, I'm not going to say it. I'm not saying the word, dude, so don't even ask.
You have a black wife. You shouldn't say it. Does your wife say the N-word?
I would. Huh?
Does your black wife say?
Why you got to be my black wife? Just say my wife. Does she say the word?
Yes. But for people that don't, Alan, for people that don't,
I got a black wife. I got a black wife. She's drop dead gorgeous, and I'm not that good looking. So but anyway, she told me, she said you had teeth when I met you. So
I was giving what is called context, Alan. Context for listeners. I'm asking you if she uses the N-word. Yes or no? Does she use it? Yes or no?
No.
Okay.
Hell no. No.
Okay.
Why would that'd be weird?
No, it wouldn't. If she called you the N-word, it would be funny.
I've had a guy. Now, the last time I got into well, I almost had an incident the other day, but the last time I really went hands-on with a dude was a white crackhead up here who scared little Willie, and then he started calling me the N-word, and like a hard R to me. And I didn't quite grasp that, so I did take matters into my own hands down there in front of him and his little crew. I told them to bring him outside. That was the fool who was saying he's going to burn our house down. It's like, what are you kind of? My wife said, "Baby, there's a man out in front screaming he's going to burn our house down. He's a weird-looking guy on a child's bicycle." I said, "I'll be right back." What are you going to do? I'm going to go down there and talk to these guys. But anyway, you talked about living like this was yesterday. I'm going to go back, Ro. I missed it. But you talked about, would you rather live in the city, like where we live now, or in up in Mequon or so? I'd rather live here all day, man. I'm just going to tell you. You get it coming and going. Wherever we go, you get it. You go like where we got our place. And the people who come there, they're real nice until they realize that we're like their neighbors. We're not just, walking around. We're actually in the same club they're in. And they don't like, that's when you see the real racism from the rich, wealthy liberals, if you will. They are something to behold, my friend. So there you go. Good work as always. You're doing fantastic. Got any more questions? Oh, I didn't tell you. I met a guy yesterday, a mailman. He was at the store up here. I was getting a snack. I'm really into pork skins for some reason recently. I just like saying pork. It offends some of the people around here. And you should see we get going there over on Teutonia where the thing is. But anyways, they treat us pretty well. If we're walking, we walk by there. The Muslim brothers really are pretty nice. The Muslim brothers and sisters, they're a spark. They're shiny. Ask them about racism, why don't you? But anyway, I met a guy, and he said, "You're Alan." I said, "Yeah, I am." And we started talking. He's a mailman. We hit it off pretty well. So thank you. You know what you've done? You helped make the world a smaller place, man.
Thank you.
No, thank you. You're a good guy. You are the best thing. So, what was the last caller? He was white, right?
Oh, was he ever? Oh,
I don't know. I missed the whole thing. Was he whiter than I am?
It's tough to do a whiteness compare. There are different levels to white. I think he is slightly more white than you because he used the N-word on the air, and that's why I was asking if you heard the previous caller because he said the N-word.
No, I knew what he did. That's kind of stupid. I'm going to tell you something. This is like when I taught, right? I was down in Racine at a school. And I did the locked room. No, man, I'm going back now. I actually don't want me to go back. I'm just debating if I want to drive that far every day. But the thing is, you got all the guys in there, right? From all the different sets, and they're getting along there in Mr. B's room. We're having a good time. And there's certain rules we have. One is no cops. This goes back there. I think cops in your room. As soon as I got a call for a police officer, guess what I lost? I've lost the class for the rest of forever. I'll have no respect of any student ever again if I call for a cop to come help me over some nonsense in a room. Okay. That's true. That really is. I mean, you got to understand how it is for a lot of troubled youth, if you will. They don't understand. They really have never met white people except maybe a social worker, maybe a coach. Positive coach. Social workers ain't never positive. Somebody coming around, a worker or something who's not really no good either. I've dealt with enough of them when we had our kids here that they'd be like, your wife would rather talk to us. I said, no, you could talk to me. Well, we're not. Well, ma'am, I don't need to understand nothing. My son's not getting glasses. I got money. I'll buy them for him. I don't want no money. Believe me, if he needs glasses, I'll buy him glasses. So then So. What was I going to talk?
I don't know, Alan, but I was going to ask you to land the plane, but I think we're lost in the clouds. So why don't we just jump out of the plane?
It's gone, my friend. It's gone. It's like, what was his name? The dude who threw out of cocaine for Clinton.
Okay.
Barry Seal.
Right.
Read about him. Read about Barry Seal, man.
I know who he
The
is.
CIA and Barry Seal. I know, so do I.
All right,
you know
thank
what
you.
I'm talking about.
All
Me,
right,
baby.
Alan. Okay,
Yep.
then. All right, then. Okay.
Have a good one, buddy.
All right, you too.
I got to take a nap. Bye. So somebody was whiter than me who called you. Sweet. I wonder who he was. He might have just been faking with you.
But
I actually like you.
Okay, thanks.
I got to go.
All
Yeah,
right.
see you later, buddy.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Oh, okay. All right. We'll see you then.
Cool.
Oh, okay. So that's... I'm not really sure what really happened there. Let's see what we got here.
I don't use that word. I don't. I think it's an offensive word.
So earlier I was giving an analogy of, because there are parts of Wisconsin where there might be negative stereotypes about black people and people in that. When he said I don't use that word, had he said it already? An example, I wasn't specifically talking about the people in Waukesha County or Elm Grove, but there are places where I think he said it already, or community members that would be me have personal anecdotal conversations. Okay. The conversation. When people like me have personal. Where did he say it? But 2016, then in 2020, the rigged election.
Actually, I guess all 3 times I voted for him. That's okay.
Okay.
Again, I've been trying. I used to listen to WISN, and it's
a little bit after this. That are talking about their lived experiences with racism. Okay.
Again, I've been trying. I used to listen to WISN, and I get tired of them as well. So I started listening, kind of trying to get an opposite point of view. But I feel like when I'm listening to you tend to bring up. It seems like racism a lot, and I just keep going. I mean, and maybe it is. Maybe it is true. Maybe it's prevalent out there. Maybe it is.
Maybe
I just don't see it. Okay. And I don't like to believe it.
Cole, you're not. Here's the thing. Before you go on, I don't want to cut you off. You're not supposed to see it.
Oh, he said it already.
You're supposed to believe it, so that he said when people
can get shot on the expressway.
That's Millicent.
That is for no reason. Because you know how.
Millicent.
I guess it's kind of crazy because
I think he said. I think the conversation is worth having on air because it is what I would call a teachable moment.
I think that's fair.
So where do we begin?
I guess it's kind of crazy because I voted for Trump.
How many times?
Both times he ran.
All right.
Okay.
3 times actually. But 2016, then in 2020, the rigged election.
Actually, I guess all 3 times I voted for him. That's okay.
Okay.
Again, I've been trying. I used to listen to WISN, and I get tired of them as well. Did you dump it?
It wouldn't be dumped on YouTube.
So I started listening, kind of trying to get an opposite point of view. But I feel like when I'm listening to you tend to bring up. It seems like racism a lot, and I just keep going. I mean, and maybe it is. Maybe it is true. Maybe it's prevalent out there. Maybe it is.
Maybe
I just don't see it.
Okay.
And I don't like to believe it.
How do white people not see it? Here's the thing. Before you go on, I don't want to cut you off. You're not supposed to see it, and you're not supposed to believe it, so that when people like me have personal anecdotal conversations, we can even give you data, fact, and statistics. You're supposed to not believe me either. That's a part of it. Make the black or the brown people that are talking about their lived experiences with racism less than credible. That is why it works so well, because folks like yourself, because I know you say the N-word, Cole. I know you got friends and family members that don't like these niggers and what these niggers
You know that I say the N-word?
Yes! Yeah.
Oh, how do you know? Why would you think that?
Because you're about to say it. Let me hear you say it. No, don't say it.
Nigger.
Well, there you go.
Look, not only did he say it, he said it after I told him not to say it.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
It's recognizing that there are people in the world that only have one word on their mind and heart when they become emotional and something happens to someone they like. They become irrational, they become fixated, and they do to others what they believe was done to them. The one thing everybody in America right now today, with the death of Charlie Kirk, the one thing they need to fear is retaliation.
Listen to The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris every weekday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. on 101.7 The Truth and The Truth app. The MPS City Conference basketball season is starting to heat up, and we are bringing you all the live hoops action right here on 101.7 The Truth. This Wednesday night, the spotlight is on the City Conference as the Rufus King Generals welcome the Milwaukee Juno Pioneers. Tip-off is set for 7 p.m. on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com. City Conference basketball is sponsored by Milwaukee Public Schools, MPS Proud, and presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Dear employer,
my name is Phil Martin.
My name is Michael Raskovich.
Ronaldo Bird.
Zach Deiser. I am writing to express my excitement at the opportunity to join your team.
As someone on the spectrum, I possess a unique set of skills
that sets me apart from other candidates.
My detail-oriented nature allows me to communicate complex ideas,
to break down data, to have no fear in meeting new people.
I may communicate in ways that are different from what you are used to.
Structure, routine,
and clear expectation.
Help me do my best work.
My autism allows me to have a perspective that needs to be seen and heard.
It allows me to make the world safer and improve systems in ways others can't.
It allows me to bring people's inner worlds to life with my artwork.
My autism
will bring your team important insights.
Thank you for your consideration.
An autistic inclusive workplace is good for business. It's time to make a change. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/win.
How much does it cost to talk to Gruber Law Offices after a serious accident? It's free. Yes, free, as in it won't cost you anything to speak with us. There's never a fee until we win your case. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Prizes, exclusive experiences, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting truthcontests.com. That's truthcontests.com. This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
Just like Cole was so quick to say the N-word, I did that on purpose. Now, I want you to think about, well, not you, Andrew, but some of our white coworkers that we think are our friends. How do you think they talk about us when we're not around? Because guess what, black people? How do we talk about white folks when they're not around? They talk about us the exact same way. Like, now is the time for us to be honest with one another, because I think we've been hiding behind political correctness and no, I don't use that language when it comes to other races. Yes, you do. Stop lying to me like I can't take it. In fact, you know what? I don't know if I could trust a white person that denies their use of the N-word, because you're lying to my face. Just if you're going to use it, say you use it. What am I going to do? Beat you up? Got time for your ignorance? Let's talk to Reddy Red. Red, you're on 101.7 The Truth. How are you?
Yeah, man, that was bold what you did, brother. I liked it. You know, I grew up in a time where, you know, King was alive and assassinated. And you talking about America's favorite subject, right? Racism, right? It's a mental block in their brain, right, where they can't see it. You know, you was right about that when you said they can't see it. It's not popular, right? But to them, it sends out a rush to their adrenaline to say those offensive words like that. But, you know, I was at a Bible study years ago, and we shared it with other white believers, right? Let me say it like that. And the white guy said, you know, they really get on my nerve. They said they talk about this God that we all supposed to believe in. But when you guys leave the Bible study, they use the N-word, right? I said, what? You know? You mean they call us names after we leave? And we talking about God? Hey, look. Like I said, you open up Pandora's pocket. Look, you can't forget 400 years of killings, murders. Raping us of our ancestry, our identity, and then didn't Trump take that stuff out of Smithsonian Museum about black people, the tragedies in it?
He did more than that. He renamed American military bases after Confederates. There was a monument in Europe that was commemorating black soldiers in World War II. That has been taken down.
Man, come on, man. No, he didn't, man.
Of course he did.
He did that.
Why wouldn't he? Screw you, blacks. What are you going to do about it? No, I'm serious. What are you going to do? Protest? You're not going to do nothing.
Well, we used to protest back in the 60s.
And where'd it get you? Where are we at now?
Huh?
Where are we at right now?
Okay, if we didn't march, you wouldn't be where you at. You ever thought about that?
Red, affirmative, and here's the thing. I may not be where I'm at much longer because affirmative action is not only illegal, it is unconstitutional. Anything considered diversity, equity, and inclusion, including cancer research that has improved and extended the lives of black people with cancer by 40%. The federal government cut their cancer research funding because black people were starting to live longer. So we got to be under no illusion about how white folks think about us. And I'm just blown away, especially someone that was around during the King era. You were around in the 1960s. You were shocked at what white people say about us. Don't be shocked.
No, I didn't mean that. No, I said that wrong. I didn't say that like that, or maybe I worded wrong. I said that, this was back in 1977 when we was having a Bible study, right? And so just back, I was just, when he said that, right, he said, well, they call you guys. I said, you mean to tell me they call us names after the Bible study? He said, yes, and he was snickering, right? So, it's a fun thing to them to insult. It's an adrenaline rush for them. But I know this one white guy.
Different perspective as someone who grew up around white people. They hate us. They hate us. It's not like, oh, it's funny. Hi, it's an adrenaline rush. They to the core of who they are as a culture. To be white, you almost have to hate black people. Otherwise, your whiteness is tarnished. In fact, if you are a white person that even stands for and supports or are allied with black people, they'll blow a white person's brains out in front of her house. That woman in Minnesota, Renee Good, she was a white woman. They killed her because she was the wrong kind of white. She was the kind of white that stuck up for and defended people of color. They hate us, and we have to internalize that.
Well, you remember them 3 civil rights workers got killed.
And a lot more have been killed more recently. You're right. Absolutely. Buried them in a shallow grave. But I got to go, Red. I got to take a commercial break.
Okay, brother, man. And I appreciate, man, what you're saying. You're being brutally honest, man. And I love that. God bless you.
All right, then. God bless you, too. I don't think that there's brutal honesty. I think that there's just honesty. Okay.
And they don't like to believe it?
Cole, you're not. Here's the thing. Before you go on, I don't want to cut you off. You're not supposed to see it, and you're not supposed to believe it. So the truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
Come in with straight truth.
If you acted up, if you were out here doing any kind of foolishness or just something that people know would make your family's name look bad, your neighbor from down the street, if they see the son or daughter, be like, what are you doing? They gonna call you out. They gonna let you know that they saw you, and then they gonna tell you, come here. Now you know I'm gonna tell your daddy.
That part.
There are a lot of times when people are new to an area, they don't know where to plug in. And anybody who plugs in the 101.7 The Truth and listen to you and Dame and Truth Nation would know that there is a significant public outcry when violence happens in our community. Don't worry about the outcry if you're not listening to the right people. So I would encourage her to tune in to 101.7 The Truth and listen to you guys, Denise Thomas, Dr. Ken Harris, Tori Lowe, and definitely Sherwin Hughes every day.
Watch all your favorite 101.7 The Truth shows by subscribing to 101.7 The Truth on YouTube.
You served behind the desk.
You served in combat.
You did 4 years and got out.
You were drafted.
You gave 20 years.
You gave exactly what your country needed.
And so did you.
When you raised your hand and swore an oath to your country, when you put your name on a dotted line, you became part of only 1% of Americans who did the same. You are a veteran.
You are a veteran.
You are a veteran. Because no matter when, where, or how you served, you made a sacrifice for your country, and you deserve support.
If you're struggling with life after service, don't wait. Reach out.
Reach out to a loved one, to a fellow veteran, to VA.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other. Leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, Teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
You're listening to the new 1017 The Truth, founded in partnership with Associated Bank. Your money works here. 1017 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee. Locally owned Good Karma brand station. It's The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Welcome to Hour 3 of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. Man, this show was wild. At some point, I want to get to the namesake of this radio station, and we dance around it, and we were coy about it, and we're shy about the truth. And I don't know if black people fully understand, because there's a humanity in us that they never had to have. Because if they have a humanity toward us, then they will begin to repair. Our reparations comes from their humanity, the fact that they have none and need to make sure that they don't get any humanity, and they punish people that have humanity toward black people, is why we are stuck in the positions that we are in. Renee Good is a perfect example. If you show humanity to these people that we are trying to throw out of this country, we will blow your brains out like we will blow theirs out too. I'm sick of dancing around the issue of race. Look what Trump has done. And he ran a racial platform. And he did it right in front of our faces. But because black people are we're so accustomed to it. You know where it started? Dude had the audacity to question the citizenship of Barack Obama. And Barack Obama built and made Donald Trump. Now, I'm not blaming Obama for the whole thing, but I'll never forget the press conference. I remember like it was yesterday, because at that moment I knew something in American politics was different. And I worked in politics for most of my career. It kind of operated in a benign kind of way. Congress still argued, they still disagreed, they debated legislation, but eventually you would get bipartisan support on the things that were most important to the country, the economy, national security. Stuff just kind of worked. But when you interject race into our politics, you screw everything up, because now you have to look through a racial lens. Who is this going to hurt? Who is this going to help? Who's going to benefit? Who's going to get rich? Who's going to remain poor? Who's going to get the benefits? Who's going to get the welfare? Who's going to lose their welfare? Who's going to get Medicare? Who's going to get Medicaid? Who's going to get Social Security? When you look at stuff through this racial lens, it just makes everything that much more complicated. But here's what Barack Obama did to play his role in legitimizing Donald Trump. First of all, Barack Obama was the single most powerful human being on the planet. You do not have to listen to anybody. You don't have to cower to anybody. You don't have to disprove anybody. Barack Obama gave a press conference, and Donald Trump was in the background. I don't know if he's a citizen. I want to see the birth certificate. I want to see it very much. I want to see it very plainly. Remember that? Barack Obama didn't have to pay any attention to him. But then Barack Obama reached in his suit coat in that inside pocket, and he pulled a birth certificate out at a press conference. And Barack Obama thought that he would put Donald Trump to rest. And all he did was just pull it out. It was a folded piece of paper. You know what that did? That meant that Donald Trump could make the most powerful man on the planet act. Let me give you another example. So you never platform your enemies. I will look at the social media from, let's say, a woman who's a broadcaster. Women do this way more often than men do. And I'm not trying to make this a battle of the sexes. It's just my anecdotal experience. Men will say some of the most horrendous things to women who are in the media, calling them B's and calling them H's, and a lot of times it'll be on their political commentary. So if there's a woman who's in the media or a broadcaster or maybe even like a social media influencer, and she has a political viewpoint, what those women will do is they will post some of the most offensive and threatening comments that they get from men in their inboxes. They'll take a screenshot of it, right? But here's what's crazy. And some of these men are threatening to kill these women, calling them every name you could ever imagine, because these women have their own political stances and their political viewpoints, and they voice them on social media. And then these horrible men go to their inboxes and say, oh, B word, I'm going to kill you, blah, 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 blah. And it's really horrible, right? So what these women do is they'll screenshot the threatening comment from the man. But even when they do that, they still shield the man's identity. So they're doing a couple of things. They're protecting their abuser, but they're also platforming their abuser as well. When you send a nasty comment to somebody, your intention is to hurt them and to harm them. And if you can get that person who you are trying to hurt and harm with your nasty comment to post it on social media, that's them, the person that received the comment, admitting that they're in so much pain that they want to diffuse it by posting it. If somebody is sending you dirty, evil, awful, threatening, despicable commentary, either go to the police or delete it. But when you post it, you are platforming the people that hate you, and that's more encouragement for those evil people to do it again to you or do it again to somebody else. Barack Obama platformed Donald Trump's political agenda by questioning the legitimacy and the validity of Barack Obama's citizenship. And we know what that was because Barack Obama was black. And there were some people in this country that simply could not believe. Because think about how much work and how much effort and how much energy they put into stifling our rights for hundreds of years. I don't know if folks get it. It took 100 years from June 19th, 1865 to get the Voting Rights Act in the year 1965. It took a century after the South lost the Civil War and people were freed from chattel slavery. It took 100 years. In that 100 years, they tried everything. They redlined, they segregated, they took funding away, they over-policed us, they killed us, they murdered us, they hung us for 100 years. And so they're looking back at their histories like, boy, oh boy, we sure did a number on those blacks. How on God's green earth did one ever become president? They sat in a kind of disbelief that we as black people and other generally well-informed, enlightened people saw it as something totally different. We saw it as like, oh, this is really cool. All the hard work, all the fighting, all the protesting, all the struggling, all the voting and all the elections. Oh, my God, America is finally turning a corner. That's what we thought. They thought we got to double down on them. Kill Eric Garner. Kill Michael Brown. How old is the boy? 12? What's his name? Tamir Rice. Kill him. What's he doing? Walking home. He said it's raining. He's got a hood up. What's his name? Trayvon Martin. Kill him too. All that stuff happened while Barack Obama was president. We were under an illusion because for some reason we cannot internalize how white folks feel about us because we don't even have the capacity to feel that way about them because we have never wanted to hurt them as bad as they have want to hurt us. Let me give you another example. I'm sure some of y'all seen this, especially those of you that are connected to your social media. It was a white pro-Nazi guy screaming, "This is a white man's country," doing all the Nazi salutes in one of the protests in Minnesota, right? And then they caught his ass. Right? They had him pinned up against the building. And I think some of you saw the video footage where it looks like they're throwing water balloons at him. That wasn't, so first of all, I need y'all to know, if you go to these protests, which please don't go, that's not water. Those balloons are filled with urine. They're not throwing, that's not, why do y'all, no. I don't think y'all quite understand how angry the people in Minnesota were. Remember what they went through during George Floyd? You think they forgot that? They didn't. That's urine in those balloons. So if you see people at a protest with a water balloon, take cover. And it was below zero outside when they were doing those protests. Imagine frozen urine. Woo! That's bad news right there. But guess who saved that white boy? A black man did. They were going to kill him. It was going to be a public execution in the worst way. And I thought it was going to happen. But no. It was a black man. They said, "No, everybody, stop." And they led him to safety. He was begging for his life, too, wasn't he? Let that have been the other way around. What you saw was a lynch mob where in 1910 or 1890 or 1925, if that was a black man, that white group would have been surrounded. So the total opposite of what you all may have saw of this white man at the Minnesota protest that was screaming all sorts of racial epithets and saying he was a Nazi and saying it was a white man's country. And he was in a group of black people. There was a lynch mob forming around him. The first part was they were accosting him, yelling at him, screaming at him. Then the urine balloons came out. They were going to drag him in that crowd and probably quarter him. You know what quartering is? Grab one leg, somebody grabs another leg, somebody grabs an arm, so another person grabs the other arm, and you all run in a different direction, and you just have somebody's torso sitting there. They were going to kill that man. But in a lynch mob, a black man saved that white man's life because that is the internal humanity that we have, but also it's why they don't take us seriously. Because if it was the other way around, it was a black man surrounded by an angry white mob, they'd have killed us. But we don't do that to them, and guess where it gets us? Nowhere. Do you think a single racist white person is going to be like, "Oh, my God, they spared that white man's life. In fact, it was a black person that led that man to safety." Do you think that that's going to make them love us? Absolutely not. Because they know what they would have done if it was a majority white group and a single black man, because guess what? It's happened before. And they murder us every single time. But we have a humanity, and we look through the lens of our humanity that they simply do not have. And we have to stop believing that however we carry ourselves and how we act and all the respectability politics, if we just act a certain way, then white people will like us and forgive us. And they can't. They don't possess the capacity. Nah, it's not all white folks, but it's enough of them. And because we have tiptoed around the idea of race, which I simply refuse to do because we have tiptoed around the idea of race because it's rude to bring it up or we don't want to talk about it or we may offend somebody when we bring up how bad it actually is, Trump is about to take over the world. If another country was doing what this man is doing, Ukraine is spending our money to stop Russia from taking over Ukraine. And Trump is over here considering military action to steal Greenland, which is one of our allies. The example I gave yesterday is like, because Greenland has already said to us, because they're an ally of ours, "Hey, America, if you want to put military bases here, go ahead. We totally don't care. You're our friend." Trump is like, "Nah, we want the whole country." And then Greenland came back like, no, what do you need? Like, do you want to put jets here and fighter jets? If you want to protect, America from China and Russia, like, build up military bases. You're totally cool to do that. Trump was like, we want the whole country. We want to own it. That's like you not having a car and your mama has a car and your mama's like, you can drive my car whenever you want. And you say, no, Mom, I want the title. And your mama's like, well, you can't have the title because it's my car, but you can drive it wherever you want. You want to go out? You want to take it to work? You're fine. No, Mama, give me the title to your car or I'm going to kill you. That's exactly what he is doing. And we got here because of our failure to have conversations about race. Our failure as black people to engage white people about race. That stops now, because I can't sit by idle while this country sinks deeper into an authoritarianism. Guess what? Some of this ain't never going away. We may get a Democratic president inaugurated in January of 2029. They're going to keep some of Donald Trump's power. And here's what's crazy. If we get a Democratic president that mostly agrees with Democratic voters and a Democratic president says, yeah, maybe we need to take Canada, half of the Democrats will be like, yeah, maybe we should. Trump took Greenland. Why not? There are things that he is doing to change the presidency so permanently that even a Democrat is going to get drunk on this new power that Donald Trump has forged. I didn't even know Trump could get away with stuff like this. What if a liberal Democratic president said and signed an executive order that says, I'm going to give activists and protesters unlimited immunity, so if you want to shoot cops, you can? Think about that. They could do it. Trump gave unlimited immunity to ICE. A Democratic socialist president could be like, yeah, if you want to kill a cop because they're being rude, you can kill them, and I'll pardon you. Imagine that. I got a couple of calls on hold, so why don't we do this? Take a break, come back, grab some phone calls. I also want to share with you, we have records there's a part of a state law that require 25 Milwaukee police officers to be stationed in various MPS schools. Well, now we have some details and some data. I love the data of what these police are actually doing since they have been required by state law. I believe Act 12 requires them to be in 24 or so of our public schools. So I'm going to take a break, come back, grab some phone calls, and then talk about the police in our schools. And also, let's check the poll since we're on the subject. With 90 votes, 51% of you say yes, police should be in schools. 49% of you say no. So it's pretty even now. If you go to youtube.com or open up your YouTube app from your smartphone or other mobile device, search 1017 The Truth, hit subscribe. You'll be able to vote in our poll. Should police be in schools? 51% of you say yes, 49% of you say no police. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. Will be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
On Thursday night, the Milwaukee Panthers head east to Pennsylvania to take on conference foe, the Robert Morris Colonials.
Dixon gets inside, finds a cutting Franklin, drops it off for Kone, who rises up and rocks the rim. Dixon gets inside, finds a cutting Franklin, drops it off for Kone, who rises up and rocks the rim.
Scott Warris has the coverage Thursday starting at 5:30 p.m. on 1017 The Truth and the Milwaukee Panthers Sports Network from Learfield. Tip-off happens at 6 o'clock. The MPS City Conference basketball season is starting to heat up, and we are bringing you all the live hoops action right here on 1017 The Truth. This Wednesday night, the spotlight is on the City Conference as the Rufus King Generals welcome the Milwaukee Juneau Pioneers. Tip-off is set for 7 p.m. on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. City Conference basketball is sponsored by Milwaukee Public Schools, MPS Proud, and presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Dad's gonna be far side, good.
What should I do with my dress?
Do little wiggles. The slate's coming in.
What does it feel like when you're down or having a bad day?
It feels sad, like you just don't want to do anything.
All my little emotions in my head is just running crazy. I don't know what to do.
As a teacher or coach, do you ever feel overwhelmed supporting kids' mental health?
I had never experienced players being so down that they can't even participate.
He's just in tears in the huddle. I didn't know what to do.
Teachers need tons of help.
Kids Mental Health Foundation offers educational materials to help guide conversations with our students.
It's so important that we are constantly educating ourselves.
It's the same as the CPR class to me. We're trying to save a life here.
The Kids Mental Health Foundation has free tools and information developed by experts, because kids' mental health starts with all of us. Scan the QR code or check out kidsmentalhealthfoundation.org to get started.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Happy kids heal faster, and that's why Starlight is dedicated to improving the mental well-being of sick kids across the U.S. Learn how at starlight.org.
Gruber Offices, a proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
People think I'm crazy, but I love you 'cause you crazy too. Radio killer. Red light special.
Our phone number is 833-212-1017. 833-212-1017. Let's talk to Adam. Adam, you're on 1017 The Truth. How are you?
I'm great for an old guy.
What's on your mind?
I'm calling with that statement you made about protesting didn't get us anywhere. Protesting didn't get us anywhere, and I totally disagree with you. Because if it wasn't for protesting, we wouldn't have gotten the Voting Rights Act. When that lady riding on that bus, and when it caused that Edmund Pettus Bridge in Alabama and something. Protest did a lot for us. And the Bible even say you could protest. And we should protest when something is going wrong. Just like back in the day, well, my parents them told me about it in Louisiana. There was a whole bunch of black people getting ready to riot in Louisiana. But one black guy told on them, and he killed about 37 of my kinfolks, them all back there. So now there's a town close to my hometown called Freetown. That's because of the black people was getting ready, but they got them. They killed most of them and put the rest of them in jail. But you got to protest, and I don't see why somebody like you with your knowledge would even say something like that.
They're going to federalize state elections. They're working on already overturning the 2026 election. There was hold on, Adam. I need to explain something to you now because I think what I said to you flew over your head. Now let me explain it to you. I let you talk. You let me talk now. Affirmative action is unconstitutional. A lot of progress that was made for black people getting into colleges and universities and getting job opportunities is not only illegal, it is unconstitutional. Diversity, equity, and inclusion has been completely eradicated, including cancer research, which we know has extended the life of black people with cancer by 40%. That funding has been cut. Anything related to black progress, including renaming American military bases after Confederate generals when the Confederates went to war with this country and they lost, it is to fly in the face of black people. Black monuments have been taken down. Anything relating to black history has been taken down. They have taken dedications to black soldiers and black heroes off of military websites with the Department of Defense. Yes, protesting did a lot of good, but we have to keep in mind those that gave it to us have now taken it away, and Donald Trump has done it in a year. He's still got 3 years left. So I don't fully disagree that protesting hasn't done anything. It has, but it was fleeting. it was temporary. I also thought that having a black president for 2 terms would have had this country turn a corner. It did turn a corner, but it turned the corner dark. Let's talk to Al. You're on 101.7 The Truth. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. First thing I want to say is a lot of racist white people have no honor, and they want their hate to be the new normal because they're mediocre, and they know who they are from history, from the $5 Indian to the Marian Indians and taking their land. And I also feel they should have to pay reparations along with the Jews because they own the ships and the breeding farms. But even with all that being said, Mr. Hughes, out of all these white people complaining, they're still the number 1 leader in crime. But we as black people got to continue to expose and let our progression be the true excellence so we can move this over. But some of them, we're just going to have to let them die out. But then we have to stand on business when it comes to it. But my question to you, Mr. Hughes, is why is it their white men gets mad when their white women mess with black men? Because it's not like they're reaching every spot of the white woman's orifice.
That's why they get mad.
And I'll hang up and listen, but we got to stay focused.
Okay.
Have a great day.
Thank you. We got to stay focused. All right, then. In the first 3 months of the new school resource officer program at Milwaukee Public Schools, police reported over a dozen arrests and $13,000 worth of tickets, mostly against the district's own students, with black students comprising 92% of those named suspects. There you go. Can I get a ding for that?
You know dings don't work that way.
Why not?
You can't ask for a ding. You earn them.
In the first 3 months of the new school resource officer program at MPS, police reported over a dozen arrests and $13,000 worth of citations, mostly against the district's own children, with black students comprising 92%. Yay, it's successful! I love when you give black children $13,000 worth of tickets that they're never going to pay, and then 92% of the people that were named as suspects were black kids. That is perfect. That is exactly why you want cops in schools. They're going to shoot one soon. But don't worry. Hold on. When they shoot the 15-year-old black child, probably in his back, he deserved it. The records give insight into a program that is now under review by the Milwaukee School Board, as some students have raised concerns about officers escalating conflicts that could otherwise be mediated by school staff. And I want you to understand something. This one goes out to someone like Adam that just called in. I know people get angry because they've seen the arc of progress, because they can remember a time where black people couldn't even speak, where they would say outright to our faces, we don't hire niggers here. And if you look at the world right now, you're like, oh, it is so much better because we protested. Only on the surface. When Act 12 was passed, there were some things thrown in Act 12 that had nothing to do with the city of Milwaukee getting more revenue so we could fund our pension obligations for the police and so that we could expand public safety. The Republicans in the legislature, remember, they're here to punish Milwaukee because Milwaukee is majority minority. Milwaukee's a Democratic city. Milwaukee gets in the way of Republicans getting a Republican governor. Oh, side note, tonight at the Cooperage, which is on South 2nd Street, maybe the 800 block of South 2nd Street, there's going to be the first Democratic gubernatorial debate. All 6 Democratic candidates are slated to show up. I'm going to be there. But if you see me, leave me alone, because I got to pay attention. Don't mess with me, because I got to listen to what they say, because on tomorrow's show, I'm going to cover the first Democratic gubernatorial debate. You're going to have Kelda Royce and Francesca Hong and Sarah Rodriguez and Joel Brennan and Mandela Barnes and County Executive David Crowley. Look at your boy. I got them all committed to memory. So that's tonight at the Cooperage. They say if you want to attend, it's free to attend, but you got to get there crazy mad early. Okay? Don't camp out, though. Don't be weird. But if you want to attend tonight's first Democratic gubernatorial debate where all 6 candidates are going to be on the stage, it's going to be at the Cooperage. I kind of shouldn't have told y'all that, because now I'm just going to make it more crowded. If I don't get in, because y'all are there, because I got to cover it. How about this? You guys don't go, let me go, and then I'll talk about it. So when the Republicans required, out of nowhere, in order for us to raise our sales taxes so we could have enough revenue so the city of Milwaukee didn't go bankrupt paying for police and fire pensions, they said, oh, by the way, you need to put 25 cops in schools. I knew when they did that, I knew what that meant. That meant that they were going to criminalize and terrorize and escalate black children at MPS, and now we have the data. You can think that we made a tremendous amount of progress, but when you have a Republican Party that said, oh, by the way, this has nothing to do with the city of Milwaukee needing more revenue to pay for their pension obligations, we're going to make you put cops in public schools. Not private schools. No. Not schools in Elm Grove. No. In MPS. And here's what we have. In the first 3 months of the new school resource officer program at MPS, police reported over a dozen arrests and $13,000 worth of citations, mostly against the district's own students, with black students comprising 92% of those named as suspects. I guarantee you, if you put the same type of police officers in suburban schools, you may get very different results. But because it's black kids, and what's crazy is, in suburban schools, in rural areas that are oftentimes very politically conservative, those kids are more likely to bring guns to school and blow each other's brains out. But if you put cops in those schools, those cops will be so friendly, they'll probably be having sex with the students. But not in MPS. $13,000 worth of citations, which those kids will never pay. And guess what? If you don't pay your citation as a teenager, they suspend your driver's license. So we're going to have a whole nother generation of black kids who are not going to be able to get a driver's license. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. We'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Hungry for something fresh and delicious? Get your favorites from Cousin Subs delivered straight to your door. From our freshly baked bread and hand-sliced meats and cheeses to our famous sides, crispy golden fries, Wisconsin cheese curds, or creamy mac and cheese. Every meal made to order and ready to enjoy. Ordering is quick and easy online or through the Cousins app, whether it's a solo lunch, family dinner, or a spread for the whole crew. Let us bring it straight to you, fast and fresh. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
Hi, I'm Priscilla Presley. My love for animals began when I was 5 years old. That sparked a lifelong commitment to speak up for animals who can't speak for themselves. Elvis and I supported American Humane Society because your compassion can change a life. American Humane Society strengthens the bond between humans and animals. Please visit AmericanHumane.org to learn more. Thank you.
When I was diagnosed with Hodgkin lymphoma, I had so many questions. I didn't even know that it was cancer. Now I do. It is cancer. Blood cancer. It's actually one of more than 100 different types, and they're all treated differently. Now, unlike some other forms of cancer, usually there's no tumor. You can't screen for it to prevent it, and the symptoms can look like other things, so it could be hard to diagnose. I had a fever for weeks. I was so tired all the time. I didn't feel like eating or doing anything else for that matter. And I know that this can feel scary. But if you know what to look out for, you'll know what to tell your doctor. And you'll feel more empowered to take the next steps. Like getting in touch with the people who know the ins and outs and can help with everything blood cancer related. Blood Cancer United. They work one-on-one with each person who reaches out to answer questions and offer resources. Blood Cancer United was there for me, and they can be there for you.
Go to bloodcancerunited.org to learn more.
Metastatic breast cancer, or stage 4 breast cancer, happens when cancer spreads beyond the breast to other parts of the body. About 168,000 women are living with it today, with Black women at a higher risk due to various factors. Research has led to treatments that help manage the disease and improve quality of life. The Everyday Counts study explores how nutrition and exercise coaching can support women with metastatic breast cancer. To learn more about the Everyday Counts study in Milwaukee, call 414-955-8819 or email edc@mcw.edu. If you or someone you know has stage 4 breast cancer, please encourage them to call and enroll in this valuable study. Again, call 414-955-8819 or email edc@mcw.edu.
More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
When the winter chill sets in, Milwaukee turns up the wonder. From January 22nd to February 1st, 2026, Milwaukee Museum Days invites you to unlock the city's cultural treasures at special admissions prices of up to 25% off at many top attractions. Explore world-class art and local history, hands-on science, and one-of-a-kind Milwaukee experiences. Pair your museum visits with Milwaukee Hotel Month deals for the ultimate winter escape. Learn more at visitmilwaukee.org/museum days, and make sure you tune in to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. Oh, there's so many great places you can take a significant other in the city of Milwaukee. Like a whole evening I'm going to plan for you all during my segment called The Milwaukee Experience, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee. Go check them out for ideas of what to do in our fun convention city at visitmilwaukee.org. Also, got a real big thing coming to Milwaukee in October. The Black Travel Summit. This is a cohort of African-American social media influencers. And I think if you added up all of their followers, it is somewhere in the millions. What they do is they travel to different destinations all over the world, and they blog and they post and they record YouTube videos about what it's like to be an African-American traveler to different international cities. In 2025, the Black Travel Summit was in Rio de Janeiro. In 2026, they are coming to Milwaukee. So I just want folks to have a perspective on the fact that the Black Travel Summit sees something in Milwaukee that it is on the same plane as Rio de Janeiro. And I'm very curious, because a lot of those folks have never been to Milwaukee before, the people with the Black Travel Summit. I want to know what their experiences will be like coming to the city of Milwaukee. And I'm going to have a whole bunch of them on the show as we get closer to the Black Travel Summit, which is going to be in October. That's also going to coincide with our November midterm elections. So stay tuned for some outstanding programming that I know that you've all gotten used to and accustomed to here on 1017 The Truth, because guess what, damn it? You deserve it. Now let's talk to the caller. You're on 1017 The Truth. How are you?
What's going on, my brother?
Oh, just hanging out at the job because there's not nothing to watch on daytime TV, so I might as well be here.
I was about to pull up, Brother Hughes, because for a moment I thought that either some J6ers had broken into your studio and taken over.
Oh.
And yeah, because it was N-words being thrown, and then Al called, as a helpful white guy, but I'm glad you're okay.
That's just how white people talk, the caller. I'm troubled that black people, because I got a lot of commentary based on that caller that you heard earlier. I am shocked that we as black people don't know that that's how they talk about us.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
But you and I know because we were some of the first kids in 1978, I was one of the first black kids who O.C. White sent into a white school district for a couple of years. And he sent really smart kids like myself who had real high test scores. And the discrimination that I think I've discussed on your show before that we received initially reminded me of this movie that Denzel Washington was with in where he was the football coach, but from every level, academically, and then their sports teams that sucked became the best teams in their district, et cetera, just from having one busload of African-American children. And so this brought me to the thought of last week when you and Denise were having a much higher level of conversation, how black men and women are surpassing these undereducated people who live in red states who support this regime. And so that's what you're witnessing, that and the further further exploitation, by the billionaires who wish to be monarchs. And so when you mix all that into H-word gumbo, because that's what you're getting when people are using that word.
What's H-word gumbo?
Told them,
I never had that kind of gumbo. What's H-word gumbo?
You know, that word that George Jefferson used to say. I'm not going to say it because I'm a more dignified gentleman. And the Stoics talk about not allowing yourself to argue with a fool because people have become confused on who's the ignorant one.
It's not even a bad word.
And I think, so just, the fact that it's racial epithet, and there's so many white people who I love, or European Americans who I love, that are not like these people who happen to call your show today, or sarcastic like Alan, who calls in about things that go on in this nation, and even some black people who think there's something good that is going to come from this regime for black people. I'm here to tell you that, no matter, you can't stop the bum rush, is what Chuck D said. And Tupac said, never ignorant getting goals accomplished. So with Dr. King's birthday being on Monday, I'm just at such a high that, you can't bring me down. And that's what I want to, on a positive note, give Truth Nation. That, you as a black person, and you as a person who does understand and see race, if you are not black, you are the pulse and the patriots of this nation. And so with that said, we will keep fighting against the Confederacy winning the peace, even though they lost the Civil War, because that's why you see what you saw on January 6th, and that's why many of them are ICE agents who are, given carte blanche at this time to kidnap, which is, a crime that's punishable by a long sentence, if and when there is not a fascist regime to protect you. So I want to see what's going to happen when the tide changes.
Okay. Thank you, the call.
God bless, my brother. God bless.
All right, God bless you, too. Thank you for your call. I feel like I need to give black people a refresher or a tutorial on racism. Because some of us think that if white people like us, they're not racist. Racism has to be covert. Otherwise, it won't work. Lynching black people and, burning crosses. That's so 20th century. Here's one of the things that they do. And as they come to mind, because I've been exposed to so much of it, I know what to look for. Like, how when you see something, you can't unsee it? Like, once you get exposed to what modern racism has got to go undetected to black people, because we'll get angry, we'll protest, and we'll act irrationally. They don't want that. Protesting is a pain. It's ugly. It's problematic. It calls attention to issues. They want to be able to live, survive, and thrive, not just them, but their children and their grandchildren, without raising the temperature on race. The word that the caller was referring to that he said he doesn't use because he's dignified is honky. And honky, it's such a stupid, no white person is threatened by honky. You know what a honky is? A honky is when a white man would pull up to a black whorehouse and honk his horn so a black prostitute could service him. Hey, the honky is here. He's honking his horn. So even using that word makes black women look like whores. I
want to say that's like complimenting them kind of.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is diminishing black women. So honky is not, that's laughable. You ever heard the other one, the C word that they call white people? Cracker?
Oh, yeah.
That's not a racial epithet either. That's laughable too. You want to know why we call white people crackers? Not because of the color of their skin. That's stupid. Because the whip that they use to open up our backs made of crackings. That's why they call them crackers. Uh-oh, the cracker is coming because the whip cracks. So even calling them a cracker reminds them of slavery. Don't use that word because they'll be like, yes, the good old days. But here's how you know you're dealing with some of the most visceral racists. They will either ignore, diminish, or punish black success, platform, celebrate, and expose black ignorance. I need you to think about that. If you are black and successful at your job, you're not getting more money. You're not going to get a promotion. You know what you're going to get? More work. Or fired. If you too good, your black ass got to go. Because you're going to make mediocre people look bad. I need you to understand that, because you cannot be black in this world and not know how they act and how they operate. Bunch of y'all were shocked. You heard a white man say the N-word on my radio show. I need you to know that he's probably somewhere saying it right now. And guess what? His kids say it too. While you may think it's silly and it's stupid and it's ignorant, the white people that are so quick to expose their use of the N-word might be employers. They'll never hire you. They might be in HR. They're opening up a file on you right now to make sure that you get fired and you can take no legal recourse. Racism is covert, and it's working very, very well because we can't see it. Black success will be admonished. It will be punished. It will be diminished. It will be ignored, especially if you are black and really, really good. They're going to pretend like you don't exist. Or if you get too good, they're going to let you go. Oh, I'm sorry. It's not working out. But if you're black and dumb and you're black and ignorant and you expose views that are not a threat to white people, they will love you to death because you are no threat to them. They love dumb black people because they got a whole criminal justice system set up for dumb black folks. If you're dumb and black, you're not competitive when it comes to a job, an employment, or an opportunity. They love it. They platform and they want to showcase it. That is the worst kind of racism you ever could imagine. Black success is diminished, reduced, punished, admonished, ignored, or they pile so much work on you and they'll say some stuff like, we're really disappointed you were doing so well. Now all of a sudden your work is just really suffering because if you're black and you're good, and remember we have to be, what do they say, twice as good. I don't believe in that. If I'm going to be twice as good, damn it, you giving me twice the money or I'm going to leave twice as fast. I ain't going to be twice as good as no damn body. I'm going to be twice as good as myself, but I'm not competing with them. They're competing with us. That's why they want us gone. That's why they got the ICE agents. And a lot of those ICE agents are Proud Boys, just FYI. Because you notice the Proud Boys are gone, that they're not out there protesting. Remember the Proud Boys? The little militia? They're all ICE agents now. Because when Trump pardoned like 1,500 people or whatever, he was like, well, you all have proven yourself to be my army. He wouldn't just pardon them and just let them go lollygag around. He's like, no, why don't you guys join ICE? Now you can shoot people. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. We'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Milwaukee business owners, this is your moment. Every Friday at 8 a.m., call in to 101.7 The Truth for What the Business Is. Tell us what your business is, where you're located, and one thing you've learned along the way. What the Business is powered by We Energies, delivering the energy that powers local business. Fridays at 8 a.m. on 101.7 The Truth. Fridays at 8 a.m. on 101.7 The Truth.
Never miss a moment of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on the new 101.7 The Truth.
Violence is a tool. Violence is a tool of oppression. It's a tool of subjugation. It's a tool of manifest destiny. Let's not say all of a sudden, oh, hip-hop music is why people are... No. Y'all know how America was discovered? Murder, slavery, human trafficking. The origins of violence predates hip-hop. Can we at least agree on that?
Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Life isn't a single moment. It's a shared ribbon that bends through the years. It binds us to the things and people we love most. One insurance company knows this because they live it. For 100 years, we've been with your family for the moments that matter most. Erie Insurance.
Find a local agent at erieinsurance.com.
Hey, Joe, working again? Retirement was boring, huh?
Not boring. Expensive. Food, medicine, rent. Social Security just isn't enough.
I know, and that's why I used benefitscheckup.org. It connected me to an extra $1,000 a month.
$1,000 a month?
Benefitscheckup.org is a free service from the National Council on Aging.
Free? I'm going to benefitscheckup.org today.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
The award-winning 1017 The Truth is the proud home of Milwaukee Panthers basketball. Panthers basketball is back in action tomorrow night as they go on the road to take on the Robert Morris Colonials. Close enough. Scott Warris has the cover starting at 5:30 p.m. on 1017 The Truth, the Milwaukee Panthers Sports Network from Learfield. Tip-off is set for 6 o'clock in the p.m. And also, while I'm reading things, let me give you all the detailed information about the Democratic gubernatorial debate tonight. Top Democratic candidates for governor will be coming together in Milwaukee for a candidate forum, the first one of 2026. Main Street Action is hosting the event at the Cooperage in Milwaukee, 822 South Water Street, on Wednesday tonight, January 21st, from 6 until 7:30. I think someone in the YouTube chat said it starts at 6:30. It begins at 6 and goes until 7:30. It will feature 7 candidates. Oh, I must have missed one. State Rep Francesca Hong, State Senator Kelda Royce, former WEDC Director Missy Hughes, no relation, Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez, Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley, and former DOA Secretary Joel Brennan and former Lieutenant Governor Mandela Barnes. So that's tonight at the Cooperage, starting at 6 o'clock, and the Cooperage is located at 822 South Water Street. I'm going to be there, but look now, you leave me alone. I need to concentrate. I need to pay attention to what all the candidates are saying, and based upon how they perform, I may decide to have one or two of the Democratic candidates on my show, but they got to perform. Here's what I'm looking for, because I'm looking for something out of these candidates. I'm looking for some mettle. I'm looking for some courage. I'm looking for some enthusiasm. I'm looking for some gumption, because as a governor, you are, in some cases, our only line of defense against Donald Trump, number one. Number two, whoever the next governor is in the state of Wisconsin, I promise you they're going to be sending the National Guard out several times in the coming years. Several times. So I need to know who that person is. To be blunt, and I'm including the women in this because when I use this term, sometimes women have more of this term than men do. Here's what I want to hear from these candidates. If you want my vote, you better have some sack. Better have some nuts. You know what I mean? I don't want to hear, well, we're just going to all come together and we're going to do. No! I want somebody to get up there and start pounding on the podium. Here's who you need to watch out for, Francesca Hong, the Democratic Socialist lady. You watch out for her now. She has some like 10,000 different donors. Now, she didn't raise as much money as David Crowley. David Crowley raised $800,000. But don't let the amount of money that appears on their first campaign finance report be an indicator of who you think may be winning, because here's what I fear. David Crowley raised a good amount of money, but it's going to cost to run a successful gubernatorial election in Wisconsin in 2026. All told, you're looking at $10-12 million. So having $800,000, oh, that's a great start. And some outside groups, I'm sure, are going to contribute as well. But they're going to do a poll. And the poll is going to ask Wisconsin likely voters in November of 2026, what is your impression of, who do you have favorable opinions of, and like who you're familiar with? And if David Crowley, who may have at the time over $1 million as a campaign account, but if only 4% of the voters in Wisconsin know who he is, it don't matter how much money he has, because he's going to need 10 times that amount to get people to even know who he is. So it was obviously good and encouraging news to see that David Crowley raised the dollar amount that he did, because it makes the race much more competitive when the black candidate, who's not Mandela Barnes, raised $800,000, which is more than some of the other candidates. That's promising. Just a word to the wise and a note for those who are not wise. Mandela Barnes can't win the gubernatorial race. He can't. In fact, he is only in it to make sure that another black candidate doesn't win it. He has no other reason for being in it to make sure that no other black candidate wins it. And if you know Mandela, you know that that's his thinking. He knows he can't win. If Mandela really wanted to be governor, all he had to do was do nothing when he was already elected lieutenant governor, because we knew that Tony Evers wasn't going to stay there forever. What did Mandela do? He sold Tony Evers out, decided he wanted to run for the U.S. Senate against Ron Johnson, who at the time was the weakest U.S. senator in the whole country. Even my Republican friends were like, oof, Sherwin, we think that Ron is going to lose to Mandela. And Mandela Barnes lost to, I don't know if you've ever listened to Ron Johnson before. Dude sounds like he didn't graduate from 8th grade. And he's a senator. Mandela lost to him. So what Mandela did is he mortgaged his political future on running against Ron Johnson. Mandela lost. But he stepped away. He basically resigned from being lieutenant governor. You know what the job description is for lieutenant governor? Here, I'm going to tell you. You ready? I'm going to tell you. I'm going to do a countdown from 3, and then when I get to 1, I'm going to tell you what the job description is for lieutenant governor. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
What?
Yeah, you don't do anything. You wait for the governor to not be governor no more. And you make $66,000 a year and you just get to chill. And he resigned from that to run for Senate. Now, Mandela is well known, and there's some white folks that like him because I don't know, sometimes white people vote for a black candidate to, like, make up for all the racist stuff they did. Like, well, I'm going to vote for the black candidate. Knowing or maybe not knowing that black candidate can't win, if we get a Republican governor in the state of Wisconsin, it's over. Because Tom Tiffany will allow Donald Trump to do whatever he wants to do in the state of Wisconsin. You will have the military, federal troops, ICE, and the National Guard in Milwaukee every single day if we get a Republican governor. I can't even imagine how much worse it's going to get. So we need someone who is going to be our line of defense from Donald Trump's worst impulses, and no Republican can ever be a line of defense from Donald Trump's worst impulses because these Republicans are afraid of him. I'm trying to think, I've been afraid of my father, but no other man. But they're scared of Trump. Tonight, top Democratic candidates for governor will be coming together in Milwaukee for a candidate forum, the first of 2026. An organization called Main Street Action is hosting the event at the Cooperage in Milwaukee. The Cooperage is located at 822 South Water Street. It's going to be tonight from 6 until 7:30. It will feature 7 candidates, including State Rep. Francesca Hong, State Senator Kelda Royce, former WEDC, Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation Director Missy Hughes, no relation, current Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez, Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley, and former DOA Secretary Joel Brennan, and, of course, former Lieutenant Governor and failed U.S. Senate candidate Mandela Barnes. So that's going to be tonight at the Cooperage. I'm going, but if you see me, just throw your boy a little peace sign and keep it moving. Don't be messing with me. I got to pay attention. What have we learned today? They use the N-word all the time, and you may start a business in a challenged neighborhood, and your desire to want to turn that neighborhood around might be more difficult than just starting a business in that area. Thank you for listening. I'll see you next time.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic